If you had unlimited Deadpools, what would you do? Would you send them all over the country to deliver food? Or if each of them drive for rideshare apps? Or maybe send them to SF Express to move packages? Just a moment ago, I was lying in bed ignoring the risks and still installing it, when suddenly an ad grabbed my attention. It said if you had unlimited Deadpool minions, what would you do? Curious, I clicked on it. The next second, a system notification beeped right in my ear. Unlimited Deadpool system successfully bound. Today's Deadpool minions are in position. Then, suddenly 2 big, burly guys popped up in front of me. Looking at them, I looked a bit panicked. After a bit, I coughed and asked, "Are you really my minions?" The 2 strong men replied in deep voices, "That's right. Master Tianyu and Hanma reporting." Then they even gave a respectful bow. Seeing this, I quickly waved my hand, telling them they didn't have to. A few seconds later, I hesitantly said, "System, are you there?" But the system didn't respond. But then a virtual panel popped up in front of me. Current level, oh, you get 2 Deadpool minions refreshed daily. Deadpool minions are level 1 with 0 skills. But their physical power is 10 times a normal person's. If a Deadpool brings in over 100k, they'll level up. The host needs to handle all their meals and lodging. Reading the panel, I got the basic info. But I still had a question. Do the system's Deadpools even have a Dragon Country ID?
If not,
That's gonna be tricky. The Deadpool system needs economic value to level up. But without ID, they can't even get into a factory, let alone get any job. So I quickly asked Tianyu and Hanma. Tianyu and Hanma, hearing me, pulled out their ID cards. I took a look and finally felt relieved. Otherwise, I couldn't have dealt with their ID problem. At 5 a.m. the next morning, I woke up because there were 2 more Deadpool minions by the bed. Seeing 4 huge Deadpools in front of me, I got a headache. If they don't make money, these daily respawns would eat me broke. Thinking of this, I shook my head, grabbed my phone, and checked the messages I sent last night. There was finally a reply. Xiaoqin, Yufu Home has 2 big moving jobs today, each paying over several thousand, and it's all urgent work. Are you sure just your own guys are enough? I replied, Brother Z, don't worry. My workers are all pros at this kind of job. We won't let you down. If anything goes wrong, I'll handle it. The other side replied right away. Alright, I'll trust you this time. I'll send you the address soon. Just bring your guys right over. After hanging up, I couldn't help but smile. After thinking it over last night, to feed all these daily Deadpools, monthly paid jobs just won't work for now. After all, I'd be getting over 60 new Deadpools in a month. And before the first paycheck, I'd be broke from just feeding them. So daily gigs are the best choice. But day jobs are all about physical labor. Good thing level 1 Deadpools have no skill, but they're 10 times stronger than normal people. And moving jobs are all about strength and endurance. The pay's pretty nice too. Thinking of that, I took all 4 of my buff Deadpools and headed out. A bit later, we got to Yufu Home. The client was already waiting. He told me the job was to carry renovation supplies to the 18th floor. 180 pieces in total. Got it right away. No wonder Brother Z said the pay was good. Damn, 18 floors and no elevator or lift allowed. Carrying a bag of cement up there is exhausting. It's a tough job, but the pay's worth it. After the agent's 2 yuan cut, I get 63 yuan per piece. I did the math. That's over 10,000 for 180 pieces. As someone who used to make just 3,000 a month, I was so excited. Right away, I got the Deadpools to work. And wow, what a show! Some materials were heavy, some light. But even the lightest tile was over 30 kilograms each. Yet Tianyu and the gang each carried 6 pieces up at a time. The client was stunned watching this. Then he said to me, "Bro, your crew is unreal. Carrying over 400 pounds and still running up? I've never seen anything like it." I smiled and replied, "Man, I told you my guys are pros. Trust me, we'll finish on time." As soon as I finished, the client stared at the stairwell in disbelief. He saw Tianyu and the guys already finished the first trip. "Hey, you didn't get the wrong floor, right? My place is the 18th floor. You just carried over 400 pounds and finished in just 2 to 3 minutes. Tianyu said in his low voice. "Nope, 18th floor. There's even another crew working inside. The client was still suspicious, so he called the workers upstairs. The workers confirmed it. The client hung up with a totally shocked look. So in less than 2 hours, Tianyu and the crew, with the client in awe, brought up all the materials. Work was done and the client paid up right away. Not a word of nonsense. Looking at the 11,300 I made, I was grinning ear to ear. First time I've made this much in a day. In a word, amazing. To treat the Deadpools at lunch, I took them out for a 78 yuan bone-in meat feast each. Afternoon, we left with the owner giving us the side eye. In the afternoon, we got another job, carrying 2,000 bags of cement to a mall rooftop. Total pay, 14,000 yuan. Agent takes 2,000. No way I could have done it alone. But since I had nothing to do, I bought fruit and cold drinks for the Deadpools, making sure the support work was handled. The Deadpools still crushed it. And by the afternoon, all 2,000 bags were moved. But this time, there was a problem with the pay. I checked and only got 6,000, and frowned as I asked the boss. That can't be right. 2,000 bags should be 14,000 in total. Minus 2,000 for the agent. Should be 12,000. But you just gave me half. The mall manager, all cocky, said. Look, buddy, you did it so fast. Your guys barely look tired. 6,000 is enough. Just head home.
Hearing this,
I instantly looked pissed. This bastard clearly wants to pocket the money. So I snapped and said, Mr. Zhao, if you just wanted a little tip, I wouldn't make a big deal. But taking half right off the top, isn't that kind of messed up? Hear me out. Manager Zhao just smirked dismissively, then turned to leave. So I stepped up and blocked him. Mr. Zhao, leave some room for everyone, so we can get along in the future. Don't make things hard for me. The money's way off. I can't face my guys with this. How about this? You keep 1,000 as a tip. The rest goes to me. Before I could finish, Manager Zhao cut me off impatiently. Are you done yet? That's all you get. If you don't like it, go die. That set me off too. Zhao, are you messing with me right now? If you don't pay today, you're not leaving this place. Zhao snapped back. You idiot! You just grew some hair and, think you can mess with me? Let me tell you, you're barking up the wrong tree. He waved his hand and called over 6 or 7 security guards. I could tell he came prepared. Even so, I wasn't letting this slide. My guys are all hardcore. They'd die for me any time. As the security guards came over, Tianyu and the others quickly got close to me without delay. I told Tianyu, break all this idiot's limbs. Tianyu nodded silently, then strode forward and kicked Manager Zhao Shen right in the gut, sent him flying 3 or 4 meters back. And that's with him holding back. If Tianyu used his full strength, that kick could have killed him. Manager Zhao Shen dry heaved a few times before catching his breath. He yelled, get them. If anything happens, I'll take responsibility. Hearing that, all the guards got fired up, ready to charge in. But my guys moved even quicker. 3 of my men blocked the 6 or 7 guards. It was like grown men beating up kids. 1 punch each. While Jianyu went straight for Manager Zhao Shen, not wasting words. Lifting his size 13 foot and kicking. You could hear the bones snap. Followed by Manager Zhao Shen's agonized screams. I walked up to him, smirked, and said, acting like you're some big shot. You think nobody can touch you, huh? I'm killing that arrogance today. So are you paying or not? Now, Manager Zhao Shen had lost all his swagger. He nodded like crazy, begging for mercy. I took his phone, entered the amount for the transfer, and made him use face scan to pay. Once I'd received the remaining 6,000, I sneered and said, by the way, you can go to the police if you want. Doesn't bother me. Only one of my guys hurt you. He goes to jail, but the rest of us are free. You get it. After that, I left with Tianyu and the others. Inside the mall photo studio, he glared at our backs as we walked away, hatred burning in his eyes. Then he looked around and finally sighed, decided to head to the hospital first. When I got home, I waited half the night, but no cops came knocking. So I just went to bed. Early the next morning, there were 2 more tough guys in the small bedroom. Yesterday I made 23,000, so I'm a bit less stressed about money. But the urgent issue now, I really need a place to keep the dead bodies, with more and more guys. This small apartment isn't big enough. So I picked up my phone to call the landlord. But as soon as I took out my phone, it rang. It was ZU, the agent. When I answered, I heard his voice. Hey, Chin, was it really you who messed up that manager named Zhao at Dingfeng Mall yesterday? Did you really take him down with your guys? After I confirmed it, ZU said seriously, bro, you guys better watch out. I don't think they'll let it go.
His big brother Zhao Jian has some pull in H City.
Back in the day, before the laws got tight, he was running wild on the streets and stacked up quite a bit of cash. It's stricter these days. So Zhao Jian switched gears. Now he's into construction and entertainment. That Jinsha nightclub in our city, that's his joint. He's got a lot of people working under him. Even if his brother's a loser, since you took him out, Zhao Jian's not gonna let this slide. So Chin, you need to be extra careful. I nodded and thanked him as I listened. If it weren't for you, Z, I might have thought Zhao really gave up. We chatted a bit more, then hung up. Right after, I called the landlord and rented 10 more rooms. In my current building, 1 month deposit, 2 months rent. That burned through 3/4 of yesterday's money, staring at my empty wallet. I wasn't thinking about much else. Just gotta make money 2 more times. Luckily, ZU came through again and set me up with a few more day jobs. Not as high paying as yesterday, but there's more work. So I got my men together and got to work. 5 days went by in a flash. These 5 days, me and my guys kept hustling around H City with more and more Death Squad members. My money kept piling up, and I moved up to level 2, stage 2. The system now refreshes 5 level 1 Death Squad each day, and 1 level 2 Death Squad. Level 2 Death Squad have the same physical strength as level 1, but always have 1 standard skill. Right now, I've got 16 level 1 Death Squad members. Seeing the system leveled up, I was pretty happy. These past few days of hustling paid off. After dinner with the crew, I headed home to rest and figure out what level 2 Death Squad could do. Soon it was midnight. 6 Death Squad members suddenly appeared in the room. I'm used to this by now. I opened the system menu. 5 of them, like Tianyu, have no special skills, just brute strength. Then I looked at today's level 2 member. Level 2 Death Squad Li Zhanliang, Master Chef skill. Food tastes 10% better. Seeing that, I stroked my chin and muttered, Master Chef, huh? Wonder how his food tastes. Too bad, it's the middle of the night. And there's no kitchen gear or ingredients. I'll have to wait till tomorrow to try Li Zhanliang's cooking. After getting everyone settled, I slept till dawn. Next morning, Jianyu will lead the team to handle the orders ZU found. I'll take the 6 new enforcers who arrived today. We're going to buy kitchen tools and ingredients. I want to test out Li Zhanliang's skills first. Soon our group left the market and came back to the rental place loaded with bags. Then we waited for Li Zhanliang to show his talent. Once Li Zhanliang entered the kitchen, he got in the zone. Honestly, he can do it all: fry, stew, steam, you name it. In just a short while, the little kitchen was filled with amazing smells. Before long, 16 dishes were set in front of me. I took a bite of the braised pork and gave Li Zhanliang a big thumbs up. Made me look forward to the system even more. His cooking's this good and it's only rated as proficient. So what do those next 3 levels even look like? I can't even imagine. That meal was super satisfying. At the end, even the trays and plates got licked clean by the enforcers. That says everything about Li Zhanliang's skills. I instantly decided to go with the plan I came up with last night, doing food service. But with my current funds, opening a restaurant was unrealistic. But running a mobile food cart is no problem. As long as the food quality stands out, customers will definitely come. Let's do this. I had Li Zhanliang prep a few insulated containers, loaded up the food, and took it on a tricycle to the biggest construction site nearby. Work was done for the day, so a lot of food vendors had already gathered outside. I looked around and picked a spot close to the site entrance that had some shade. Had the enforcers open the containers, set up a sign on the trike. Box lunch, 18 RMB each. Big servings, good value. Then we just waited for customers. Li Zhanliang's cooking was unbeatable, and the delicious smell quickly made workers coming out of the site sniff the air. But when they saw a whole bunch of strong guys standing there, they hesitated. I watched the workers too, and realized my mistake. A bunch of big guys selling boxed lunches together really does look odd from another person's perspective. It looks just like a shady operation. But now it's too late to find some girls to help. Just then, two students appeared on the street nearby. I gritted my teeth and quickly walked over. Hi, ladies. Do you have time for some part-time work? Just 2 hours, and 150 yuan each. The two of them looked startled, afraid I'd make things weird. So I quickly explained why. Once they heard me, they didn't scream. The braver one asked, "What kind of part-time work is it?" "If it's heavy lifting, we can't do it." I breathed easier at that and answered right away, "It's not physical work. Look over there. My relatives from my hometown and I are selling box lunches. A few of my guys just happen to look strong, so no one wants to come near. So I'd like you to help greet customers." The two girls listened and followed my finger's direction. Sure enough, they saw a group of big guys staring awkwardly at each other, the guys all looking unsure. That made the girls burst out laughing. The other girl kind of teased us. "Now we know you're selling box lunches. But from the looks of it, you'd think you guys are the ones collecting protection money." "All right, we'll take the job. Let's go over." With the two girls joining, the workers started giving it a try. And once they tried it, they couldn't stop. In just 1 hour, our food containers were wiped clean. I closed up shop, kept 4 lunch boxes, and handed them to the girls. After getting the lunches, one of the girls curiously asked, "Brother Yang, why don't you set up near the college district? There are way more students there than workers on this site." Feeling a bit awkward, I explained, "I just think the competition over there is too intense. Today's our first day, so I wanted to try things out at a construction site." Zhang Ye replied, "So did the test run go well today? Brother Yang, you should sell your lunches at the college next time. I bet your business will be booming." I smiled and nodded. After eating, I paid the two girls for their work. They were really happy about it. After they left, I calculated today's income. After all the expenses, I made 2,800 yuan today. Sounds like not much, but this is a long-term business, and there are lots of markets to explore. It's definitely worth doing. Meanwhile, Tianyu's team did 4 jobs today, making over 4,000 yuan total. Not bad at all. With my team growing, I put together a basic plan. For the food side, Li Zhanliang and 5 enforcers aren't enough. But there are extra people at Tanglaogong. So I plan to have Tianyu lead the boxed lunch business only, and send the rest of the enforcers to the site as workers. Now that I had a rough idea, I brought everyone home. At midnight, a new enforcer arrived right on time. Today's level 2 enforcer was Li Fei, whose skill is carpentry. Li Fei's arrival just happened to fit the site plan, so I decided to put him in at the construction site first. Have him join a team with a few level 1 enforcers for bundled jobs. That way, we can maximize profits. While I was busy planning, over at the dazzling VIP room at Jinsha nightclub, Zhao Jian sat confidently in the center, listening to Xiaoming's report. "Boss Zhao, we figured out who hurt Brother Dong. The guy in charge is Qin Yang, a college grad who's only been out 6 months. We checked everyone around him too. They're all from different places. No other background to speak of. Just young men being reckless." Hearing that, Zhao Jian calmly said, "If you find out, get it done. My second brother may not be great, but he's not someone everyone can mess with. Otherwise, what will people think of me?" Zhao Jian said to break their arms and legs and bring them back. "I want to see just how gutsy this punk is to mess with my people." At 3 a.m. that night, a convoy suddenly stopped outside my apartment complex. They pulled up at the gate, and more than a dozen guys got out with bats and knives. They rushed straight into the complex. When passing the security booth, 2 of them ran in and took control of the security guards. The rest headed straight for my building. Not long after, all the yelling and fighting woke me up. By the time I was awake, Li Zhanliang and Li Fei, who live with me, were up too. They'd surrounded me, alert and ready. So I grudgingly asked what was going on. Li Zhanliang explained, "Boss, someone tried to attack us just now, but our night guards spotted it, and Tianyu's guys are on it." When I heard that, I fully snapped awake. The Zhao brothers aren't easy to deal with. Within half a minute, the noise outside stopped. Then there was a knock on the door. Li Zhanliang asked wearily, "Who is it?" Tai Niu's deep voice came from outside. "Lang, it's me." Hearing it was Tai Niu, I immediately had Le Yangzi open the door. The hallway was filled with over a dozen of the Zhao brothers' men. My men had them pinned to the floor, all of them bleeding and bruised, looking pretty badly hurt. I walked out and asked, "Did Zhao Jian send you?" The young leader said tremblingly, "Mr. Zhao sent us here to invite you over." I let out a soft laugh, looking at the clubs, knives, and blood. "Is this how you invite people?" Shen Ming stammered and couldn't reply. I wasn't about to. Just let this go. Since they brought the fight to me, there was nothing more to say. I had Tai Niu grab Shen Ming and two guys who could drive. We took their cars and my men, heading straight to Jinsha nightclub. Li Fei and Li Yangzi stayed to watch the house with the rest of the men. Half an hour later, we arrived at the nightclub entrance. Shen Ming led us up the staff elevator. As soon as the doors opened, Tai Niu and Hummer stepped out first. They cleared out everyone they met. Soon the top floor went quiet. We reached the Imperial Suite door. Shen Ming pointed. "Mr. Zhao is inside." I signaled him to open the door. Shen Ming obeyed. As soon as he entered, everyone inside looked at him. Zhao Jian saw it was Shen Ming and told his men to turn off the music. With a girl in each arm, he asked, "Is it done?" "Where's that brat?" Before Shen Ming could answer, I swaggered in with my group of henchmen. Once my men were inside, they quickly restrained those trying to rise. Tai Niu yelled, "If you don't want holes in you, then stay still." Suddenly, the noisy room fell dead silent. Zhao Jian watched with a grim face, saying nothing. I said with a cocky look, "Well, I heard Mr. Zhao was looking for me, so I hurried right over. What do you want, Mr. Zhao?" "I'm right here in front of you. You can speak now." Zhao Jian looked at my posturing, his face turning red, then purple. He didn't expect his men to fail, or that I'd have so many people. At this point, he knew he had to play it smart. He finally asked, "I give up. What's the price?" "What are your terms?" "We can negotiate." I scoffed. "You wanted to ruin me. Is there really room to negotiate?" "Look, kid, name your price." "I'll take it." When he said that, I gave a triumphant smile. This was exactly what I wanted. I spoke up, "Mr. Zhao. I heard you have a restaurant in University Town. The foot traffic there is good. I'll take that as mental compensation, plus 500,000 in cash. Any problem?" Zhao Jian heard this and shook his head. "Impossible. I'll give you 2 million in cash, and we'll call it even." I sneered. "You're joking. Did you think I was asking?" "I'm telling you." Zhao Jian then acted tough. "What, are you going to kill me?" "I can't kill you, but someone else can." I called out, "Tai Niu, come here. Show Mr. Xiao something special." I pointed to the marble table. Tai Niu understood instantly. He punched the table with full force. Asterisk bang asterisk. The entire table shattered into pieces. Zhao Jian and the others were completely stunned. That was solid marble. Even a sledgehammer wouldn't break it easily. Then I asked, "Tai Niu, are you afraid of jail?" Tai Niu beat his chest.
Boss?
"I'm not afraid." I turned to Zhao Jian. "If you don't want to pay, fine. But you tried to fix me, so I have to hit back. My brother isn't afraid of prison. Forget the money. Just take one punch from him. Then we're even." Zhao Jian heard this, and his face turned pale. He knew if that punch hit him, he'd be crippled if not dead. He bit his lip and said, "Fine. I'll give it to you." "Smart move, Mr. Zhao." After setting the time, I finally left with my men. I took the 3 cars they came in. After we left, someone told Zhao Jian to report the extortion, but he waved it off and said, "Forget it." He told everyone to keep quiet. Back at home, I lay in bed and went back to sleep. Early the next morning, Shen Ming arrived with a layer and cash. Then, we transferred the restaurant and 3 cars. I was careful and put the restaurant and cars under the name of my man, Da Gang.
If Zhao Jian tried to set a trap,
I could protect myself. Later, I stood before the Hongbin restaurant. Looking at the 3-story building, I was hyped. The best part was, Li Zhanliang's dorm kitchen was finally history. With this professional kitchen, efficiency would skyrocket, leaving 2 to clean up. I started the lunchbox business again. Today we had 2 selling points. So I split the team in 2. One at yesterday's site, the other right outside the restaurant. Jiang Ye and Liu Yuan arrived on time. They really liked this job. They were so eager. 2 hours passed, and the food was all gone, just like last time. I gave the girls 2 lunch boxes each. I said, "You don't need to come here tonight?" Jiang Ye looked up, her mouth full of food. "Yang, did we do something wrong?" She looked like a little piglet. It made me laugh. Listen to me first. The thing is, I opened a shop in University Town, right at the Hongbin restaurant. It's closer to your school. Just go straight there tonight. It'll be easier for you. After hearing that, they both felt relieved. After eating, everyone went back to the restaurant. I became a counting machine again, settling the profits. Lunch profit was nearly 9,000. With the dinner rush, total profit would top 15,000. This business definitely has potential. Soon it was midnight. A new recruit arrived. Today's skill was masonry. Not bad. Another addition to the construction crew. I checked my EXP. After taking Zhaojian's assets, it had reached 8.14 million. I studied it for a bit, then fell asleep. The next morning, I was woken by the phone. Drowsily, I checked the screen. It was my mom. I snapped awake immediately and answered the call. My mom's anxious voice came through. Something terrible happened. Your sister Chin Yu ran to H City to find a summer job. Try to contact her. Don't let anything happen to her. When I heard that, I hung up immediately to call my sister. But before I could say anything, I already heard my sister's voice from the other end. Bro, I'm in H City now. I've already gotten off the train. Come pick me up. I was going to tell her not to come, but she made her move before consulting me. That move just left me speechless. After I hung up, I took a bodyguard and drove to the train station. A moment later, 3 little girls walked out of the exit, chattering non-stop. My sister Chin Yu saw me, let go of her friend's hand excitedly, ran up to me and said sweetly, "Bro, you came to pick me up." Before I could answer, she called her friends over, introducing Ling Ling and Chinking. "Come here, this is my brother Chin Yang." The 2 greeted me warmly too. Then we all headed toward the parking lot. As we walked, I asked, "So you're on summer break now? Why not just relax at home? What made you want to get a summer job?" Chin Yu explained. It was Chinking's idea. She has a sister working as a waitress here in H City. She can earn 7 or 8,000 a month. Meals and housing are included. We want to earn some money, buy the things we like. Once I heard that, I thought these girls working part-time is not a good idea. Waitress jobs in H City usually pay 3 or 4,000. But nightclub waitress jobs do pay more. But that means doing extra services. So I'm pretty sure Jia Yuking's sister works at a club or someplace like that. If these girls go to work there, that's no joke. So I asked Jia Yuking, "Hey, is that your real sister?" She said no. She's just someone I met while gaming. She's really nice. Sometimes she even sends me in-game skins. I was speechless at that point. They really believe anything. So I didn't ask more about it. Of course, I wasn't about to let them get fooled by some job like that. Half an hour later, I drove the girls to Hongbin. It was lunchtime already. Liangzi was selling boxed meals with his team. I grabbed a few for the girls to eat first. I stood at the stall to help out. While eating, Ling Ling asked, Yu, does your brother help sell boxed meals here?" Chin Yu replied, "I think so. Since he graduated, he hasn't gone home."
He just said he works in H City.
I have no idea what he actually does. Once Lu Lingling realized I was selling meals, she instantly lost interest. So she asked Jia Yuking Chinking, "Did you get in touch with Sister Sun? When is she picking us up?" "I just sent Sister Sun my location. She said she'd be here soon," Liu Lingling said. "All right, that's good. 7 or 8,000 in a month. I've never seen that much money before. Once we make money, I'm going to buy everything I want." Half an hour passed just like that. A black car pulled up outside Hongbin building. A heavily made-up, glamorous woman got out. The 3 girls ran happily over when they saw her. Jia Yuking shouted while running Sister Sun. The woman, Sister Sun, saw Jia Yuking and immediately praised her. "You must be Chinking, right? So pretty." At this moment, I was collecting money at the stall. When I saw this, I knew right away. This was the scammer who brought the girls here. So I walked over too. Hello, ma'am. I'm their big brother. My name's Chin Yang. Hearing that, Sister Sun's expression changed a bit. But she still greeted me politely. Seeing this, I got straight to the point. I heard from my sister. You're looking for waitresses. The pay sounds pretty high. But as far as I know, waitresses earning over 7 or 8,000 in H City are super rare. So where do you work? Faced with my question, Sister Sun started to stammer. But after I kept pressing, she finally gave the address, Emperor's Club. I looked at her in shock. I mean, waitress jobs there really can pay 7 or 8,000. But you definitely have to do extra services for that. I can't believe she wanted to introduce these girls to a place like that. They're not even adults yet. This woman is just evil. After I calmed down, I said coldly, you can go now. My sister won't work in a place like that. Sister Sun saw I wasn't easy to fool. So she just glared at me, then got in her car and left. Chin Yu and the others were still in shock. So I quickly explained. Then the girls started to feel freaked out. When I saw how disappointed they looked, I said, all right, stop dreaming about 7 or 8,000 a month. If you don't mind, just help me sell boxed meals here. 150 a day, plus meals and lodging. Stick it out for a month and I'll take you home myself. Chin Yu asked with a blank look. Bro, are you serious? You really make 150 a day selling boxed meals? I knocked her on the head and said, what? You think selling boxed meals is beneath you? So are you doing it or not? If not, I'll just buy your tickets and send you home tomorrow. Chin Yu quickly said, of course we'll do it. But bro, do you really mean it? Aren't you working for someone else? I said proudly. I mean it's not just boxed meals. I run this restaurant now. I can't tell my sister the restaurant is actually mine. But I can drop a hint. Chin Yu's eyes went wide with excitement. Wow, you're in charge here. I thought you were just selling boxed meals. Alright, enough talking. Let me show you to the staff dorms. So I took the 3 girls to an empty dorm room. But they're still missing some daily necessities. So I gave my sister 2,000 yuan by phone. There's a store not far from the restaurant where you can buy bedding, basins, stuff like that. You and your friends can go buy them later. Once you're all set, start work tomorrow. When Chin Yu saw the transfer, she grinned and replied,
Thanks, bro.
While I was settling things for my sister, that glamorous woman, Sister Sun, had returned to Emperor's Club. She came in looking very annoyed. A fat middle-aged man noticed and walked up to her with a loud slap.
He smacked Sister Sun on the butt.
What's up? Why do you look so mad? Weren't you going to pick up the new girls? So where are they? Sister Sun said, I'm so pissed. I almost brought them in today, but some young punk ruined it. Then, Sister Sun explained what happened. The man laughed. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. How about this? Didn't you say that kid sells boxed meals? Tonight, I'll get some guys to mess with him. Let you vent a little. As soon as she finished speaking, Sun Yan replied in a sweet voice. I knew, Tiger Bro, you're always the best to me. I want to see his face when he gets put in his place tonight. Soon, it's already 4:30 in the afternoon. The food is ready. I'm standing at the entrance of the Crimson Ribbon restaurant, waiting for the students to arrive. Not long after school ends, students who finish class early start gathering in small groups. Just like before, the Deadman and Zhang Yi are serving the food. I'm just collecting the money to the side. But right at the peak of box lunch sales, a young guy with crazy dyed hair in red and green walks over carrying a lunchbox. He shoves the waiting students out of the way, yelling non-stop. Seeing that made my face darken. So I quickly walked over, trying to keep my face looking calm, and asked, what's up? But my friendly face wasn't met with a smile. One of the red hairs immediately spat at me and said, is this how you do business? Come here, look. There are flies in the food. It's so filthy. Yet you still dare sell it to students? You bunch of crooks. Hearing that, I squinted and said, hey man, watch what you say. All our lunch boxes are made with strict procedures. Absolutely clean. You say there are flies in the food. It's summertime. Flies are everywhere. Who knows if you just threw a dead fly in there to mess with us? If you keep talking like that, I could sue you for slander. The red hair froze at my explanation, then raised the lunchbox in his hand, shouting, "Hey, students. Everyone, look, is this fly really in the food or not? And this boss won't even admit it. With shady sellers like this, you still want to eat here." I saw the fly in the box too, but the fly was just on top, and it was perfectly intact. If you stir-fry food, it's hard to believe there'd be a whole fly left. That's just not possible. Clearly, these guys just tossed a fly in there looking for trouble. Seeing that, I was unusually mad. I shot a look at one of the dead men. They got it instantly, and each grabbed one of the red and green hairs. Then I took the lunchbox from the red hair, pulled out the fly, and raised my voice. "Hey, students. Don't listen to these punks making stuff up. Look at this fly, it's totally undamaged. Our chef always stir-fries the food. With all that stirring, how would a fly look perfect like this? Plus our food's pretty oily. If the fly got in while cooking, at least it'd be a little greasy. But look at this one. It's totally clean. Clearly these punks planted it to frame us. If you don't believe me, come take a look yourself." At first, some students were unhappy that the deadman restrained those guys. But after what I said, they thought it made sense. So everyone turned and called out those little punks. I felt relieved seeing that. The brief crisis was over. Then I had my guys drag the troublemakers into the restaurant. We told the students we were sending them to the police. I let Zhang Ye and the team keep selling meals, and told the deadman to bring the red and green guys to a private room upstairs. After we walked in, I walked up and slapped each of them hard. Then I asked, "Talk. Who sent you guys?" At first those punks tried to mouth off, trying to act tough, but the deadmen weren't having it. After a round of memory recovery, they begged for mercy instantly. Looking at their swollen faces, I asked, "Well, ready to talk now?" It was Tiger No 2 who sent us." That name left me confused. Who the hell is Tiger No 2? Is he a boss nearby? But then, what the red hair said made my face go even darker. Not a shop owner here. He's Gao Erhu, manager at the Emperor's Club.
Hearing the Emperor's Club.
I instantly thought of that sister's son. So I called Ziyu. "Hey, Z-bro. I want to ask about this Gao Erhu from the Emperor's Club." Hearing that, Ziyu sounded surprised. "Gao Erhu. Chin bro, you had a run-in with him again." I explained briefly. "It's not like I started it. He came for me, and I caught him in the act." Ziyu asked, "Was the loss serious?" "If it's not bad, just let it go." Gao Erhu comes from the Gao family in the west side. 2 brothers in the family. The older is Gao Dahu. The younger is him. These 2 aren't like the Zhao family brothers. The Zhao brothers already quit and went legit, but the Gaos are still in the game. Gao Dahu's the top guy on the west side. They run most of the gray businesses there. Lots of thugs under them. And they're ruthless when they want something. We're doing honest work. So if we clash with them, it's only gonna end bad for us. If nothing serious happened, just drop it. Ziyu tried to talk me out of it. But there's no way I back off. Business is just taking off for us. And this guy already wants me gone. Gao Erhu is even sneakier than Zhao Dong. At the lunch stall, Gao Erhu and Sister Sun are still in a car watching. Once I handled things, Gao Erhu chuckled. He's clever. "How do you feel now?" "Just wait, this isn't over yet. Maybe in a few days, the kid will just give up and go home." Sister Sun asked, "Didn't he solve it though?" Gao Erhu smiled slyly. "Hey, you know what they say. Rumors kill. I've been watching. On this food street, his lunchbox is the best. But after Red Hair slandered him today, I'm betting other vendors will kick him while he's down. Word will spread, and his reputation's done for. If you run a restaurant and lose your rep, you're done." Sister Sun finally got it. She twisted her waist and kept praising Gao Erhu. "So that's how it is." Tiger No Dot too. They're so smart. Of course, Gao Erhu loves the flattery. That night, I brought my guys back to the apartment, gathered all the loyal guys in one room, got straight to the point. There's a task. We need someone to handle it. The job isn't really dangerous, but there's a real chance you could end up in jail. Anyone willing to volunteer? No sooner had I finished speaking, I saw hands go up in the room. Iron Ox spoke up, "Boss. No need to discuss things with us. Each of us got here because of you. In this world, you're the only one we serve. Even if you told us to end it right now, we wouldn't hesitate. So just tell us what to do. Hearing this, I nodded. Then I chose one of the top loyal guys to stay. The rest were dismissed. When only me and that guy were left in the room, I told him the task. At 2 a.m., the bosses at Empire Club started to leave. Right at that moment, a tough guy in camo walked in, entering Empire Club's front doors. Seeing someone come in, a server greeted him. Sir, we're about to close up. If you want to play, come earlier tomorrow. The guy glanced at the server, asked, is your manager Gao Erhu here? I need to speak with him. The server hesitated. Answered, you mean manager Gao? I'm not sure about that. Let me check for you. But the guy replied, don't bother.
His office is upstairs, right?
I'll find him myself. With that, he went toward the elevator. But the server wasn't having it. Tried to step up and stop him. The guy turned and looked at the server. Coldly said, mind your own business. It'll be better for you. That cold look made the server shiver. Instinctively stepped aside. After the guy entered the elevator, the server finally snapped out of it. Immediately used the radio. Someone's causing trouble, heading to the top floor. Security, get up there. Hearing the call, Empire Club's so-called security quickly rushed to the top floor. Elevator doors opened. The tough guy looked around, saw about 20 security guards blocking the entrance. His expression didn't change.
He pulled a baton from his pocket.
The security guards saw this, immediately rushed him, trying to take him down. Soon, fighting noises echoed from upstairs. 2 minutes later, the guy wiped blood off his face, glanced at the group lying on the floor, then walked further inside. General manager's office. Gao Dahu and Gao Erhu were smoking cigars, chatting loudly. Whoever's causing trouble outside must be crazy. He came alone. Maybe he thinks he's Superman.
Hearing this,
Gao Dahu reminded, don't get too relaxed. Lately, we've been watched closely for our business. Keep things low-key. Gao Erhu mumbled, got it. Bro, I haven't done anything wild lately. Who knew some reckless kid would show up? While they talked, the office door opened. Gao Erhu was about to ask if they caught him, when a bloodied strong man walked in. The guy went straight to the point. Which one of you is Gao Erhu?
damn.
Seeing it was the troublemaker, Gao Erhu shouted out a curse in shock. No one replied. The guy stepped up to the desk. Gao Dahu steadied himself, brother. Is there some misunderstanding? The guy asked, are you Gao Erhu? No, I'm Gao Dahu. You need something, just say it. No need for violence. If you have any demands, let's talk it out.
Hearing this, the guy eyed him.
You're Gao Dahu. Good, I don't need to look any further. With that, he locked in. The guy said nothing more. Not long after, screams erupted from the office. Half an hour later, when Uncle had arrived, he saw the bloody mess upstairs. Immediately surrounded the guy. The guy didn't resist. Let them deal with him. And fully admitted what he'd done. But when asked about other things, no matter how they questioned, he stayed silent. Also, Uncle Hat searched other rooms in Empire Club, found tons of illegal sexual activity. Some of the girls weren't even willing. Next morning, news of the Gao brothers' downfall spread fast. For a while, H City felt tense. That night, all the bigger players got a letter. It had a pretty simple message. If you don't want to end up like the Gao brothers, stay away from West City. Don't mess around. Signed with the word Chin. All the bosses saw it. Everyone had their own thoughts. Some laughed at the sender for being clueless. Some didn't care at all. Some were extra cautious. But everyone started moving, investigating who Chin is. I didn't try to hide who I was. Otherwise, it'd all be for nothing. So people traced things back to me, helped get my name out there. But the more famous I got, the more stuff came my way. I decided to start a security company. Legal money and protection. Keeps me safe too. Did some research online. Turns out starting a company is expensive. But there's a way around it. Just buy an existing one. If I want to do it, I do it. Went straight to a law firm in H City. Explained my idea. Talked it over with a business lawyer. The lawyer said it's no problem. According to him, there are loads of security companies out there. They have official licenses, but lack actual staff. Buying these shell companies isn't pricey. Some can be bought for just a few tens of thousands. I told the lawyer, take care of the whole process. Just make it quick. Leaving the law firm, I brought 2 loyal guys to Empire Club. After what the guys did there recently, Empire Club is now closed for restructuring. The big boss finally showed up. Tonight I came to talk business. With the Gao brothers out, Empire Club became prime turf. My security company is for this exact purpose. We arrived at Empire Club, walked right in as a group. A staff member hurried over, sorry. Sir, we're not open these days. I waved him off, I know. I'm here to discuss business with your boss. Let your boss know my name. He'll get it. The staff seemed unsure, but called the boss. Soon he welcomed me to the top floor with a smile. Inside the general manager's office, Wei Liang was chain smoking. Wei Liang's been pretty annoyed these days. This Emperor Club here is his biggest investment among all entertainment venues. The land, the building, and renovations combined cost him close to 10 million. After the Emperor Club was finished, the Gao brothers showed up. Their intentions were obvious. They just wanted a cut. Wei Lin thought about it for a long time. He knew the Gao brothers were pretty influential in the underworld. With local tough guys like them around, it could prevent a lot of unnecessary trouble. So he agreed.
He even gave the Gao brothers a 10% share of the profits.
But Wei Ling never expected. Just when business was getting better, the Gao brothers would get busted. And it dragged the club into their mess too. Back in H City these past few days, Wei Ling pulled a lot of strings, just to settle things down. As for who took down the Gao brothers, Wei Ling had some idea.
He didn't expect that person to show up today, though.
Wei Ling also wanted to see what the visitor was up to. The GM's office assistant opened the door. I strode in with Deadman right behind me. Once the door was closed, Wei Liang got straight to the point and asked if it was Gao brothers doing. Was it Mr. Chin behind it? I chuckled at that. President Wei, you're joking. I'm just an honest businessman. That answer was pretty vague, but Wei Liang got the hint. He smiled. So, Mr. Chin, what's your purpose in coming today? Hearing that, I replied, I heard the Gao brothers crossed too many lines and got taken out by some tough guy. President Wei, now's when you need a partner. And I happen to think I'm pretty capable, so I thought I'd recommend myself. Wei Liang squinted and smiled. Oh? Then what can Mr. Chin do? I shot back, President Wei, let's be real here. What do you make of the guy who wiped out the Gao brothers? How about him? Wei Liang sighed. I've heard of that guy. He's no joke. To do that to the Gao brothers surrounded by dozens of thugs. I've never heard of anyone like that in my life. And the guy's loyal too. Other than confessing, he kept his mouth shut on everything else. I laughed. And President Wei, I have a bunch of friends just like him. What do you say? As I said that, I nodded to Deadman. Deadman stepped forward, walked up to Wei Liang's solid wood desk, and smashed down with a punch. There was a dull thud, and on the desk, a fist mark about 4 or 5 centimeters deep appeared. Wei Liang was totally stunned by what he saw. A while later, Wei Liang got up and felt the dent, and said in disbelief, Mr. Chin, I see what you guys can do. I'm impressed. We can work together. I can even give you 20% of the profits. But you have to agree to one condition. Wei Liang sat back down and continued, what I need from you, Mr. Chin, is this friend of yours and I have a situation? My real estate company's interested in a project. But someone else wants it too. We're pretty evenly matched. If we get dirty, we'll both just get hurt. So we privately set up a fight. Winner takes the project. I thought it over and said, I can lend you my guy. But your offer isn't enough. These guys with me, they're like brothers and family. So you need to add more money. Wei Liang laughed. Mr. Chen, you're something else. So how much more do you want? How about 1 million? I shook my head and said, how many entertainment venues do you own, President Wei? 8, like Emperor Club. Emperor is the biggest. So Mr. Chen means? I answered, I hope my guys can look after your clubs. And if this time, my brothers help you win this project, I hope you'll take care of them and give them some work. Wei Liang laughed. Mr. Chen, you're really straightforward. But even if you're asking a lot, it's not unreasonable. I agree. Once the deal was done, I left Emperor Club. Then I quickly headed out to visit all the other places that used to work with the Gao brothers. All those entertainment venues, their bosses, weren't as confident as Wei Liang. They were a bit nervous about my visits at first. But when They heard I was just taking over the Gao brothers' position. They immediately agreed. After all, right now in the underworld, I'm even tougher than the Gao brothers. No one wants to offend me for a little money. Bottom line, I took over with no trouble. 5 days passed in a flash. That morning, I got 2 pieces of good news. The security company acquisition was handled by the lawyer. I just needed to pay and sign.
And
Wei Ling's Emperor Club had reopened. And the fight we'd been talking about was happening today. After breakfast, I brought Deadman, the guy who showed off for Wei Liang, and went to Bluebird Boxing Gym at the address he gave me. Hadn't even gotten out of the car when I saw Wei Liang already waiting outside. That showed how much this match meant to him. Once I got out, Wei Ling came up smiling and even patted Deadman warmly on the shoulder. He said to me, "Thanks a lot for the help, Mr. Chin." I nodded politely and followed Wei Liang into the gym. As soon as I walked in, I saw a huge boxing ring, and all around were seats like in a bar. Right then, a lot of people were already chatting and laughing together. As soon as Wei Liang walked in, a bunch of people came over, showing how respected he was. Wei Liang really kept his word and introduced me to a lot of bosses. Most of them were in construction materials. After a round of introductions, I got a bunch of business cards.
10 minutes before the match.
The elevator doors slowly opened, and a group of people walked out. Leading was a guy in gold-rimmed glasses, looking sharp and handsome, with that classic CEO vibe. Behind him were several men in black suits, all sharp movers, total pros, no doubt. At the end was a guy nearly 2 meters tall, a big muscular black dude whose teeth stood out. He was so dark. That was Zhou Kang. He'd just taken over Mingyu real estate from his dad. Kind of young and hot-headed. He was the one who proposed this bet. Looks like he's not stupid. Dude's been ready for this. With both sides fighters there, the match officially started. All the spectators held their breath, because this fight was for a project worth over $1 billion. Whoever won, their people would get a fat payday. No room for mistakes. As soon as the 2 fighters got in the ring, Zhou Kang called out with a laugh, "Wei Liang, no one left on your side. You just sent a migrant worker in?" Wei Liang's face darkened at those words. He looked at me with a bit of resentment, and I felt a little awkward too. I didn't expect the match to be this grand. But Wei Liang isn't someone to mess with either. He shot back, saying, "It's like they say, a mountain doesn't need to be tall. It's famous if there's a spirit. A lake doesn't need to be deep. If a dragon lives there, it's magical. What's the point of being big? This is a boxing match. It's all about being able to fight." Zhou Kang smiled and said, "Haha. Hope you can still talk like that after the fight, Wei. Maybe you don't know who my fighter is, but you can look him up online. He's this year's K1 champion from Japan." Wei Liang tensed up even more after hearing that. Even though he's really optimistic about Deadpool's strength, the K1 champion title is nothing to scoff at. K1 is a global boxing tournament held in Japan. There are experts everywhere. Wei Liang clearly knows how tough it is to win K1. Right now, both fighters are already on the stage. You can tell just by how they're standing. Zhou Kang's guy has a professional fighter's stance, but Deadpool looks super relaxed, almost like he's full of openings. This made everyone below the stage start talking. Is Wei Liang giving up? Did he just grab some random worker to fight? But once the match started, everyone was shocked by what happened. The fight just began, and the big guy Hunter looked at him with both disdain and anger, rushing in to attack. With his acting as a pro fighter, there's no way he couldn't tell. This guy opposite him really hasn't had any formal training. From his stance, he's just a regular guy. Maybe he's just a bit bulky. Getting someone like that on stage. Hunter felt totally insulted, so he wanted to end it fast with a KO and finish this joke of a match. But when Hunter kicked Deadpool on the thigh, his face immediately showed shock. That kick landed right on his opponent's thigh muscle. With a loud thud, a deep muffled sound filled the air. That tells you how much power Hunter used. If a normal person took that kick, they'd basically be unable to fight anymore. But Deadpool's face didn't change at all. Hunter felt like he just kicked a steel plate. Such insane resistance to hits. Hunter instantly realized this guy was actually just pretending to be weak. But even if Hunter realized it, it was already too late. After taking Hunter's kick, he moved right in and punched straight at Hunter's face. Hunter saw it coming and quickly crossed his arms to block, but he still underestimated Deadpool's strength. Crash, bam. 3 loud sounds in a row. Everyone watching felt like it all happened in a split second. And Hunter was already off the stage. His arms were bent into weird angles, clearly broken, and he was howling in pain, pale-faced. You couldn't even describe how miserable he looked. Seeing this, Joe Kang spat out the wine he was drinking. Wine sprayed everywhere. He yelled, "Damn, are you kidding me?" Hunter weighs over 260 pounds, yet this random worker sent him flying with one punch, and even broke his arms? Is this guy Superman? At another table, Wei Liyang finally snapped out of his shock. He looked like he'd just seen a ghost,
He knew Deadpool was strong.
but never expected him to be this strong, knocking out a K1 champ with a single punch. Movies wouldn't even go that far. After he calmed down, Wei Liyang, face flushed, raised his drink. He toasted me, saying, "Mr. Chin, right now, I can sum up everything on my mind into one thing. Your buddy is awesome." I smiled and clinked glasses with Wei Liyang. Once the host announced Deadpool's win, Zhou Kang came up to Wei Liyang, still looking upset. "Didn't expect you could even find someone like that. I give up this time. The project is yours." Wei Liyang didn't want to make things awkward with Zhou Kang. After all, he already got the project. No need to rub it in. So he replied, "Just lucky. Lucky that Joe agreed to back off. We're just competitors. No hard feelings. If there's ever a good chance, our companies should work together more." When he heard that, Zhou Kang finally relaxed a bit.
He then said, kind of unwilling and a bit envious, "Wei,
"Where do you find that worker?" I could tell. That guy never trained in fighting. He's just seriously strong by nature. If he actually trained in combat sports, he'd have a place even in the world's top leagues." Wei Liyang didn't hide anything either. "It was just a coincidence. He works for one of my partners. I just happened to see his skill, so I pulled him in. Didn't expect he'd surprise me this much." Upon hearing this, Zhou Kang pressed his lips together. He thought with skill like that, why work for others? "He's too talented for that," Wei Liang replied seriously. "Yeah. See, that young guy is my partner." He pointed at me. Zhou Kang thought for a second and said, "Wei, do me a favor. I'd like to meet that champ." "It's no trouble at all. Come on, let's go over now." Wei Liang finished talking and led Zhou Kang over to me. They came up close, and Wei Liang warmly introduced Chin. "Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Zhou from Mingyu Real Estate." Then Wei Liang introduced me to Zhou Kang. After meeting, Zhou Kang asked, "What line of business are you in, Mr. Chin?" I replied, "Mr. Zhou, I'm in food, construction, and security." When he heard security, Zhou Kang's eyes lit up. He was thinking about how to poach this expert. He then asked, "Mr. Chin, you're so young. Didn't expect you to be involved in so much. So this fighter is a member of your security company?" In Zhou Kang's mind, someone this skilled has to be a key team member, the backbone of a security company. But to his surprise, I told him Wukong is indeed part of my security team. Just a regular employee though. Zhou Kang heard that, and his eyes lit up even more. Then, a bit shyly, he said, "Mr. Chin, I have a small request. Not sure if I should say it." I said generously, "Mr. Zhou, no need to be so polite. We're friends now. If there's something I can help with, I won't say no." Zhou Kang said, "Well, I travel a lot for business, and I really need an expert by my side. Would you let your buddy work for me?" "Don't worry. I'll make sure both you and your friend are well taken care of." As soon as he said that, my eyes lit up. Security companies do include bodyguard services, but with my connections, I usually can't get in front of rich clients, so no one's ever hired Deadpool as a personal guard. Didn't expect a breakthrough like this. Zhou Kang actually came to me first. I felt amazed inside. This is the advantage of knowing Wei Liyang. So I spoke up confidently. "Mr. Zhou, this is exactly my line of business. If you hire our employees, that's supporting my business. Of course it's fine." "How many people do you need, Mr. Zhou?" Zhou Kang looked a little embarrassed and scratched his nose. "I just want to hire Kingzi. I really like his skills." "So you're interested in Kingzi's abilities?" Actually, Mr. Joe, our company has lots of people like him. You have plenty of options. Lots. President Chin. You're bluffing. I could tell Joe Kang doubted me. I just smiled and didn't argue. Then I turned to him and said, if you really want to hire from us, you can come with me later and meet more of our staff. Bluffing or not, you'll see for yourself. Seeing how confident I was, Joe Kang hesitated for a few seconds, then nodded and said, okay. I'll bother you for a bit then, President Chin. Wei Liyan, who saw us heading out, wanted to tag along too. So after everything was settled, we all headed to Hongbing Building by car. After dinner, Joe Kang couldn't wait and urged, Director Lin, when will you do the demonstration? I could see it. Joe Kang is actually a good guy. Maybe it's because he grew up in a rich family and was spoiled since he was a kid. His personality is a little childish, so I didn't mind his tone. I called in several first-class death guards I'd prepped. They walked into the office. I pointed at the 6 death guards and said, these are the ones. Joe Kang got up and walked around them.
He said, I can't really see who's a real expert. Director Lin.
Can you let these guys show some moves? So I gave the death guards a gesture. They went out for a bit. Then each came back carrying a marble slab, about 1 meter square and 20 centimeters thick. 2 death guards propped one up in the air. Then another guard punched it hard. Bang! A dull thud. The slab shattered instantly. The rest of the guards did the same in turn. Joe Kang and Wei Liang were totally stunned. After the shock, Joe Kang was speechless. He just gave a thumbs up and praised. I smiled and said, Mr. Joe, do you believe now? All our company's security staff are this strong. With them protecting you, there's no way you'll get hurt. Joe Kang didn't say much else. He immediately placed an order. President Chen, I'll take 4 of them for a year, and I'll pay 500,000 per person. What do you think? I did a quick calculation in my head. 500,000 a year. That's nearly 1,400 per day. Way better than a manual laborer. I agreed right away. Joe Kang didn't waste time. We didn't even sign a contract and I made 2.6 million. 2 million for the death guard's salaries. And 600,000 as a thank you bonus for me. I accepted after a few polite words. Seeing this, Wei Ling also hired 2 death guards as bodyguards. Same rate as Joe Kang. And he even gave an extra 1 million as a bonus. We discussed everything and agreed to sign contracts tomorrow. Joe Kang and Wei Liang left with their new bodyguards. I opened my mobile banking app and saw an extra 4.6 million arrived. Finally, I felt what it's like to get rich overnight. After the excitement, I checked the system. Sure enough, it leveled up to 3. But the experience needed jumped from 10 million to 1 billion for the next level. I couldn't help but gasp. 1 billion experience means 1 billion RMB. No idea when I'll earn that much. I kept scrolling down. After hitting level 3, the system gives 1 new level 3 death guard a week, 2 level 2 guards per day, and 10 level 1 guards a day. Also, level 3 guards now get random advanced skills. These are things like medicine, manufacturing engineer, network engineer, high-tech stuff like that. Plus, there's now a level 1 guard shop in the system. It only stocks 5 items, and every item is marked new opening sale. There's a special discount. So out of curiosity, I checked them out. First, the basic gene potion. After discount, 100 million RMB each. Then a gene defect cure formula, discounted to 10 million RMB. Skill upgrade card, discounted to 1 million RMB each. Invisible coating material, discounted to 1 billion RMB. Super carburetor, discounted to 10 million RMB. My first reaction, way too expensive. And that's with the discount. At the original price, each item is worth over 1 billion, especially the basic gene enhancer and the invisible coating material, costing more than 10 billion or 100 billion each. But after reading the descriptions, I had to admit the system is insane. The level 1 gene enhancer can unlock the human body's first gene lock and boost an ordinary person to level 1 death guard fitness. After unlocking the first gene lock, it adds 100 healthy years of life and enhances the body 10x, so 100 extra years. You can't really put a price on that. The skill upgrade card raises a level 2 death guard skill from proficient to master. Invisible coating uses nanotech to make objects totally disappear to the eye. And the supercarburetor blueprint is a universal carburetor. It fits any vehicle, maxing out fuel efficiency. 1 liter of gas lets you go 50 kilometers. Just 2 liters for every 100 kilometers. After seeing all that, I just couldn't decide what to buy. Aside from the skill card, I want all the rest. But I quickly calmed down and started seriously picking. In the end, I went for the super carburetor. I took stock of my current assets. I've got over 5.4 million cash in my bank. But I can mortgage the Hongbing building. And the bank could lend me 3 to 5 million more. After deciding to buy that carburetor blueprint, I started thinking what to do next. Before I knew it, it was almost midnight. As soon as the time hit, the system refreshed again. This time, I got 13 new guards. I quickly checked their stats, especially the high-level ones. Level 2 Death Guard, Zhao Zi. Skills, Expert Driver boosts any vehicle's safety. Another Level 2, Liu Zhong. Also an expert driver and boosts safety. Then a Level 3 Death Guard, Wang Libo, a mechanical engineer. Master level. He understands and builds all kinds of machines like a pro. Plus 50% more precision. Seeing the Level 3 guard's skills, my eyes lit up. I couldn't believe the system just gave me a master engineer. Right after I decided to buy the carburetor blueprint. With a master engineer like Wang Leguo, our death guards just got even better. With this guy handling the tech, I don't have to worry about that side at all. Of course, launching a factory takes time, but the future looks promising. After getting Level 3 death guards,
I asked ZU
to help me find a machine shop to buy. Whether the super carburetor has a market still has to be tested out there. That's the only way to know. 3 days flew by. Meanwhile, Wei Ling kept his word, putting all his venue's security in the hands of my extra death guards. Now they're all on the job. The extra income opened another revenue stream for me. Of course, getting these places is just a start for me. What's really important is Wei Ling promised me a construction project. After all the build-up, I can now form a full construction crew myself. Contracting jobs is where the big money is. Right now I'm really short on cash, so I mortgaged the Hongbing building and just scraped together enough for the carburetor blueprint. But setting up the factory will take even more money, so I really need a big money-making project now. It's like fate, really. Because that same day Wei Yang called me, wanting to talk business. Of course I said yes. Qingyang Real Estate. That's Wei Liang's company name. I walked into the Qingyang Real Estate building, and one of Wei Liang's death guards led me to his office. Walk into Wei Liang's office. Wei Liang looks up and smiles at me. Hey, Brother Qin. Come on in. Have a seat. My project here is already signed. Plan is to start within 2 months. This project is in the east part of the city. The city wants to build a new business district in the east to boost the local economy. I'm planning to give you the demolition job. Not sure if you're interested. Hearing this, my eyes lit up. I'm really interested in this work. Demolition and construction is a real moneymaker. Didn't expect Wei Liang to be so generous. President Wei didn't say much, thanked Wei Liang, and said no need to be so polite. We're partners, right? This demolition covers 430,000 square meters. I've done the numbers. For land compensation, it's 1,000 yuan per square meter. Plus they get a new apartment, 1 for 1. The site's kind of remote. This price isn't even the lowest. But I'll give you a 1,000 yuan compensation rate. You go negotiate with the residents. Any savings you get are yours, but I have one request. No mass incidents. No bad news or negative publicity. My mind was racing after hearing that. Feels like Wei Liang is giving me a huge opportunity, compensating more than 400,000 square meters. At Wei Liang's rate, that's over 400 million yuan. If I can cut costs by just 10 or 20 million, it's still several tens of millions for me. No wonder these guys try so hard to get into construction. It's insanely profitable. Of course, it's not easy to lower the price. So of course I agreed. Then Wei Liang said, Brother Qin, I'll be honest with you. The commercial area is planned for East City. But you know East City. You should have heard of Wang Dingfei. Since I got the project these days, he's been bugging me non-stop, trying to take over the demolition job. But I never agreed. Because he's way too shady and greedy. I won't mention the dirty things he's done. You can dig into that yourself. So if you take this demolition job, you'll definitely run into Wang Dingfei. Be careful. I thought about Wang Dingfei for a second. Suddenly remembered. He's the guy ZU mentioned last time. One of the biggest players in H City's underworld. I thought for a bit and replied to President Wei. I've heard of Wang Dingfei. Can you tell me his actual background? Wei Lang smiled and said, You mean his official ties? I don't know much, but I know one of his relatives is the third-ranking official in East City. I frowned after hearing that. If it comes to solving issues with street methods, I'm not afraid of anyone. But if it's about official matters, that's tricky. Not everything can be fixed with force. Of course, that's because my connections aren't strong yet. My network isn't tough enough. Wei Liang saw me frown. Wei Liang laughed and said, Are you worried he'll step in? How about tonight you host a dinner at your restaurant? I'll invite someone over. Introduce you to them. Hearing that from Wei Liang, I understood what he meant. Clearly, he's trying to introduce a big shot from that side. For me to meet. I didn't say much else. Poured Wei Liang another cup of tea. By evening, that night, Hong Binlu stopped business to welcome Wei Liang's VIP. I shut down operation for tonight. Wei Liang arrived early too. So we waited in the lobby, drinking tea, and waiting. Then I asked, Who exactly is Wei Liang going to introduce me to? Wei Liang smiled and said, This guy. You should have seen him in City News. His last name is Hu. He's the second in command in H City. Hearing that, I was a bit surprised, but soon understood. Makes sense. Wei Liang's Qingyang real estate is so big. If he didn't have powerful backing, nobody would believe it. After knowing who it was, I asked Wei Liang about Mr. Hu's food preferences and gave suggestions. Told the kitchen to adjust quickly. Make sure the guest enjoys the meal. Showed my intentions to impress. Half an hour later, Wei Liang got a call. He stood up and called me over. We went to the restaurant entrance. Soon after, a black Passat slowly pulled up in front. Wei Liang saw it, quickly went and opened the back door. Then, a middle-aged man with a square face stepped out. Thank you, Mr. Hu, for coming despite your busy schedule. Wei Liang smiled and shook hands with him. Then,
He started introducing me to Mr. Hu. This is Qing Yang.
Mr. Qin owns Hong Bin Lu, this project I signed with the city. Qin is in charge of all demolition work. I rushed up to shake hands with Mr. Hu, smiled and said, Welcome, sir. It's an honor to have you here. Mr. Hu looked at me for a few seconds, then smiled. Hello. Mr. Qin, you're too polite. Then with me and Wei Ling the Wei, we went to the biggest, fanciest private room in Hong Bin Lu. After sitting down, Mr. Hu suddenly asked Mr. Qin, Is your restaurant closed today? I didn't see any guests upstairs. I quickly explained, No, it's not closed. Since you were coming today, I specifically told them not to open tonight. Mr. Hu nodded, looking satisfied. After all, his rank is high, and lots of people know him. If someone took videos, it'd be trouble. Signaled by me. Soon, dishes made by Chef Song and Wu were served. Placed on the table. Food served. Wei Liang started urging Mr. Wu. Try Qin's restaurant. It doesn't have much fame, but it's really tasty. I've been coming here a lot lately. Mr. Wu nodded. He picked up his chopsticks. Meant to just taste a bit. But the food was unexpectedly perfect. Fit his taste. Made his eyes light up. And he couldn't stop eating. Kept trying different dishes. Wei Liang glanced at me. Secretly gave a thumbs up Mr. Hu. During the meal, neither Wei Liang nor I spoke much. About 10 minutes later, Mr. Hu finally grabbed a napkin, wiped his mouth and said, Sorry for embarrassing you two. I don't really have any special hobbies. Just love good food. When I taste something delicious, I can't help myself. Mr. Qin, your chef is truly great. I smiled and said, Glad you liked it. Whenever you want to eat, just call me. I'll ask the chef to take care of it. Then I served Mr. Hu some tea. Mr. Hu sipped the tea and said, President Wei, President Qin, the reason you invited me today is probably about Wang Guo, right? Hearing that, Wei Liang didn't hold back.
He answered right away, Yes.
Mr. Hu, you know, Wang Bo's nephew, is known as the little tyrant of Dongcheng district. Whenever there's a construction project, this guy wants a piece of it. The project I'm working on is also in Dongchen. These days, that kid's been pestering me non-stop. He insists I give him the demolition work. But Mr. Chin and I already signed a partnership. Mr. Chin said he can handle Wang Dingfei. But for Wangbo's side, we need your help, Mr. Hu. Mr. Hu thought for a few seconds.
He replied, okay, I get it.
This is a key project for the year. I've heard about Wang Dingfei. His reputation is pretty bad. Just focus on your work. Don't be afraid to act. If anything comes up, talk to me right away. If Wang's side tries anything, I'll handle it. Hearing that, I hurried to my feet. Thank you so much, Mr. Hu. I'll toast you with tea instead of wine. Here's to you. Then I downed it in one go. Afterward, Mr. Hu chatted with us a bit, then finally left. After Mr. Hu left, Wei Liang didn't stay much longer either. He said goodbye and left soon after. Since the restaurant was closing, I gave my sister a few instructions and went back to my apartment. At home, I took out the blueprints Wei Liang gave me and started studying them. The planned demolition sites are mostly in a place called Kangtai Village. There are over 300 households in Kangtai Village. Most people live in single-story houses built decades ago. Only a few families have built multi-story houses. After looking for a while, I felt I still need to test what the villagers think. Right now, I have a price of 1,000 per square meter. But whether that's high or low, I need to find out myself. Of course, I'm not greedy. I just want to get a bit from brokering deals. Early the next morning, I took the 20 or so men I'd gathered lately and headed to Kantai Village. Since we've kept this project secret, the villagers here still have no idea their homes are getting demolished. That makes it easier for me to investigate. I checked the prices listed on some for sale signs to get a sense of the local prices. It's an urban village, not a prime location downtown. Plus, they're single-story houses, so the average price in Kantai Village isn't that high. I asked a few families. Most were between 800 to 1,000 per square meter. Of course, you can always bargain. It's clear Wei Liang's team has checked this out too, to make sure my info is accurate. I decided to talk to a few more families, but as I went around, I discovered something. Recently, there's been a spike in home sales in Kangtai Village. It's obvious some people got inside info early and are snapping up properties in bulk to get demolition payouts. After I learned this, I frowned. Before anything's officially announced, info about demolition is kept top secret. Anyone who finds out ahead of time must have serious connections. Even Wei Liang didn't know the exact demolition sites before signing the contract. Then I suddenly remembered something Wei Liang mentioned. After he signed the project contract, that Wang Dingfei guy immediately started pestering him. So maybe the person who found out early was Wang Dingfei. Thinking that, I wanted to check it out, just as I was about to look into a house that was for sale, to see who the buyer was. An Audi Q7 plus a few other SUVs pulled up right in front of me. Then a burly guy with a tough face got out with a chunky gold chain around his neck. He looked mean. Several more tough-looking guys got out of the other cars. After getting out, they started walking over to me. When they were a couple steps away, the guy spoke in a raspy voice. Chin Yang from the west side just crossed the line. You get that? I stared at Wang Dingfei with a sharp look in my eyes. I snapped right back. Wang Dingfei, you really do get your info fast. But you say someone's crossed the line. I don't get what you mean. When did Dongcheng become your private turf? Wang Dingfei said harshly. You little punk. You dare talk to me like that? Don't get cocky just because you took down the Gao brothers. I know exactly why you're here. Hand over the contract while you still can. Otherwise, in Dongcheng, you can't even move a brick. What? Dongcheng hasn't been liberated yet? What gives you the guts to talk like that? I'd like to see how you'll stop me. Brick by brick. Seeing how tough I was, Wang Dingfei narrowed his eyes. Then he waved his hand.
His guys came at us quickly.
Clearly, they wanted a fight. But my men aren't pushovers either. They quickly closed ranks around me and started shoving the others. I frowned, knowing this standoff wouldn't help. Besides, Wang Dingfei runs this place. Even if he wants to fight me, not here, or he'd get himself in trouble too. So I waved my hand, signaling my men to fall back. Once my men stepped back, I didn't say much else. I just shot Wang Dingfei a cold look. then took my men and drove off. Wang Dingfei finally breathed a sigh of relief. He may be a local thug, but in broad daylight, getting into a big brawl probably wouldn't end well for him. Of course, Wang Dingfei has a sharp tongue. As soon as he saw me back down and leave, he immediately mocked me, laughing. I thought you were all tough. Turns out you're just all show and no substance. You look tough, but you're useless. Kid, remember this. As long as I'm here, you're not setting foot in East District. Right after, Wang Dingfei's men laughed along with him. I got in the car, face unchanged, and didn't care about Wang Dingfei's taunts at all. No one bothers with someone who's about to lose everything. Then, I reminded my 2 bodyguards in the back seat again, and dropped them off at a corner. A bit after 9 p.m., Wang Dingfei, a little wobbly, was helped out of the restaurant by his men. Quickly, they got Wang Dingfei into the car. One stayed to drive. The rest went back to keep drinking. Just as the driver tried to start the car, getting ready to take Wang Dingfei home, the driver's window shattered with a loud bang. Glass flew everywhere. Then a figure appeared at the broken window. Wang Dingfei's guard, already startled by the shattering glass, had no time to react before a big hand grabbed his throat. He felt dizzy and lightheaded, and was yanked right out of the window, then thrown hard onto the ground, and passed out. At that same moment, another figure appeared at the back of the car. This person tried to open the door, but found it was locked. Frustrated, he used brute force, ripping the entire door off. Tossing aside the door, he looked at the dead drunk Wang Dingfei, and nodded to the person up front. Then he grabbed Wang Dingfei, and the 2 quickly left with him. The whole thing took less than a minute. By the time someone found the driver, it was already nearly an hour later. Wang Dingfei's men searched for a long time but couldn't find him. They had no choice but to call the police. But even after Officer Miao arrived, nothing new was found. It happened in a remote area. The street cameras had been destroyed. Obviously, this was a planned abduction. Wang Dingfei disappeared. Officer Miao started investigating everyone he'd had conflicts with, or argued with, and during the search, they found out a lot of people had issues with Wang Dingfei. Of course, I was also on the list. An abandoned factory. I walked in with a few bodyguards. I immediately saw someone tightly wrapped up. A hood pulled over Wang Dingfei's head. The 2 guards I sent to grab him stood by his side. I nodded at them, didn't say a word, picked up a plank from the ground, and slowly walked over to Wang Dingfei. By now he had sobered up. Hearing someone approach, he panicked deep down, wanting to scream, but his mouth was taped shut, so he just whimpered nonstop. I stood in front of him, my face cold, raised the plank, and started hitting the non-lethal parts of Wang Dingfei's body, beating him up. After a few minutes, I got a little tired, finally tossed the plank aside, brushed off my hands, and walked out of the factory. Then I lit a cigarette and asked, "Nobody saw anything, right?" One of the bodyguards on the job replied, "Don't worry, boss. We cleaned up the trail. No one will ever find us." I exhaled some smoke and said, "Good. Keep upping the pressure on him every day, but make sure he doesn't die. Also, get him to confess everything bad he's done. Write it all down. When I'm done with my stuff, then hand him over." After explaining everything, I drove away from the factory. Next morning, I was still asleep when I heard someone knocking on my door. I rubbed my eyes, got up and opened the door. Standing outside were 2 cops. One of them started, "Hello. Are you Chin Yang? We're from the station. We need to ask you a few questions." After I let them in, they started asking for my basic info. Then they asked, "Did you have any conflict with Wang Dingfei yesterday?" I admitted it, of course. There were plenty of people who saw it happen. One cop asked, "Why did you 2 have an argument?" At that, I answered honestly, it was about some construction project. I was the contractor for a job, and Wang Dingfei tried to take it from me. I refused, so we clashed. By the way, did something happen to Wang Dingfei? If you want info on him, you should ask his friends. I barely know the guy. One officer replied, and continued questioning. You don't need to know that. Just answer what we ask. Where did you go last night? Who can confirm you were at the restaurant all evening? The restaurant staff can vouch for me. Then the officers asked me a few more questions, and had a colleague check my statements. Turns out, everything I said was true. When Wang Dingfei disappeared, I had a solid alibi, so they said I should stay in City A for now and get in touch if anything happens. Then they left. Around 10 in the morning, I went to Kantai village again. This time I brought more people to measure the area of each house in the village. After Wang Dingfei stirred things up yesterday, the news about demolishing Kangtai village was already out. So, I just started taking measurements openly. I also told the villagers the minimum compensation price while measuring. 700 per square meter, plus a new apartment of equal size as compensation. The price I offered was pretty fair, since homes here usually sell for about that much. But remember, that's without the apartment compensation. Of course, some people are just greedy. A few villagers, seeing their homes being demolished, tried to ask for way more money, hoping to milk this for all it's worth. For people like that, I don't give in at all. I told them straight up, I'm the one handling the contracts this time. Next time it'll be Wang Dingfei. Borrowing Wang Dingfei's reputation was something I just thought of. But it actually worked really well. Most villagers, as soon as they heard Wang Dingfei's name, signed the contract without hesitation. Shows just how bad Wang Dingfei's reputation is in the East District. It's really awful. A few days later, I finally got contracts from all the villagers in Kangtai. By then, the city government also issued a demolition notice. Now we just had to wait for villagers to move out and the demolition crew to come in. Of course, this part takes more time. Once the contracts were signed, I got in touch with Wei Liyang to settle things up. The villagers' money, they'll get it after they move out. But my payment gets settled right after the job's done. This time, we acquired over 400,000 square meters. I get 300 per square meter. So I made a total of 140 million. When I saw that number, I was stunned. Honestly, I never expected this. Just one relocation event turned me into a billionaire. Wei Liang's office. Wei Ling was staring at me then. I could see fear flashing across his face. Brotherly bonds. Let's be real, man. You did the Wang Dingfei thing, right? Wang Dingfei's been missing for days. Wang Biao is freaking out. Let me give you some advice. If he's still alive, now's the time to back off. Don't let it get any bigger. Of course, I denied it flatly. Even if everyone knows I did it, I'll never admit it. Otherwise, no walls are airtight. Who knows if they'll stab me in the back? Wei Lang stared at me seriously for a few seconds. He saw I had a hidden smile in my eyes. He knew I definitely did it. But if I don't confess, he can't do anything. About the money I made, Wei Lang knows exactly what kind of person I am. With that understanding, he wouldn't dare try to cheat me. He sure doesn't want to become another missing person like Wang Dingfei. Of course, the payment won't hit my account all at once. It'll be paid in 3 batches. It'll be settled within a month tops. I had nothing to say about that. I trust nobody will mess with my money. Walking out of Wei Liang's office, I got my first payment, 50 million. Only one word. Awesome. With money, of course, I had to spend it. Those items in the mall. I've been longing for them. I opened the mall. I instantly bought the gene defect medicine formula, the skill upgrade card, and the super carburetor blueprint. After I bought all 3 items, the gene defect formula and super carburetor blueprint turned black. The skill upgrade card was still available, but the price changed. Now, one costs 100 million. Back at my rented place, I handed the super carburetor blueprint to Wang Li. Wang Ligu, the mechanical engineer, glanced at it and said, "Boss, this thing's really easy to make. Just need tools and materials. I can build one for you right now." I asked seriously, "Can the tech core stay secret?" Wang Ligu nodded. "No problem. I'll add an anti-theft design. If anyone tries to steal the tech, it will self-destruct inside." "But, boss, I still suggest you apply for a patent. That just makes it safer." I replied, "I'll handle that. You focus on studying the blueprint. See if you can boost the product's performance. Wait till ZU has news. Then I'll buy the factory, and we can start production." As for Fangtai village, it ended after Wei Liang sent the payment. I called the men watching Wang Dingfei and told them to let him go. Before dawn, outside the government office, a figure tossed a ragged sack in front of the gate, then threw a rock at the guard, and left quickly. The guard uncle in the cap was startled, got up fast to check. He immediately spotted the sack on the ground. Feeling uneasy, he called the officer on duty. A few guards finally opened the sack. What met their eyes was a man battered beyond recognition. There was also a letter on him. The officer picked up the letter, opened it, and read inside. Turns out, it was this man's confession. The content was shocking. It had a bunch of criminal evidence and mentioned several major people. After reading, the officer quickly hid the letter in his chest. He was thrilled inside. Who would have thought, just doing his shift, he'd get this massive windfall? As for hiding it, impossible. They clearly investigated and put it right in front of the office on purpose. Our boss is at odds with a few people mentioned in the letter. If this case is handled well, I might even get promoted. After storing away the letter, the officer quickly told someone to call 911. The person can't die. He's key to the case. As for who dumped him here, that can be investigated later. Honestly, even not investigating is fine. He's already sentenced. The officer almost wanted to kill Wang Dingfei himself. Taken to the hospital soon. Wang Dingfei's medical report came out. He looked miserable, but the wounds were all flesh injuries. The real torment was his broken spine. He ended up paralyzed from the chest down. Nothing below the neck will move ever again. He'll be stuck lying in bed forever. Of course, if everything in the letter is true. A peanut was also waiting for Wang Dingfei. Wang Dingfei came back disabled and got caught. It caused a major stir in certain circles. The smart ones started packing up and running away overnight. Too bad the authorities moved fast. The next day, they started arresting everyone named in the letter. Suddenly, everyone in Dongcheng district was on edge. Wang Dingfei's little crew fell apart right away.
His uncle Wang Bo
Also got investigated because of Wang Dingfei's statement. The once untouchable Wang family's power was broken up so easily. Actually, when Wang Dingfei disappeared, people in the business always suspected it was me. After all, we fought during the day, and that night he got taken away. What are the odds, right? But now it's a law-abiding society. Even Uncle Hat couldn't admit it. No one in the business could say anything for sure. But after Wang Dingfei and the Wang family fell, my reputation skyrocketed even more. A week later, I got a new Deadpool. My crew added another level 3 Deadpool. Level 3 Deadpool Majun, skilled in pharmaceutics, has a 50% higher chance of successful drug research. Now I'm sure. The system really favors me. Just got the blueprints and formulas from the mall. And the system sent me 2 experts, specializing in those fields. I used to worry about the gene defect drug. I was kind of anxious whether to start developing it now, since there's a lot of resistance. But seeing the system deliver talent, I decided to follow my heart. So I started searching which pharma company, about to go bankrupt, planning to just buy one directly.
This way.
It's easier to apply for drug permits and such. Soon, I targeted a mid-sized pharmaceutical company called H City's No. 3 Pharmaceutical Factory.
It was up for sale.
So I contacted the lawyer Tang Dao, who helped me with the security firm, bought it for 4.5 million, and got the 3rd pharmaceutical factory smoothly. Right after that, I took Wang Leguo and Ma Jun to the factory. Wang Leguo checked out the original machinery there. Boss, the equipment's been kept up pretty well. I could write a program to upgrade them. No need to replace for now. I nodded. When you're starting out, you have to save where you can. These old machines aren't worth much now. But buying a whole new batch would cost a lot more. Then I left 50 people for Ma Jun and gave him a budget. Told him to get the lab set up first for developing the gene defect drug. Ma Chan's in charge of the factory side for now. After getting all that done, it was already noon. I headed back to Hongbin Lu for lunch. At the table, as I ate, I asked Qin Yu, I've been busy lately. Haven't checked on how you guys are doing. Is it too much for you? Qin Yu grinned and said, It's all good, bro. The male waiters take good care of us. They all rushed to help out. The other girls nodded too. I told them, work here if you want. If you get a better chance, just let me know if you want to leave. So, I'm free this afternoon, thinking about taking my sister and the girls out. If you want to join, you're welcome. They didn't hold back. Everyone agreed. That afternoon, I drove the girls to Happy Valley first. It was peak holiday. Happy Valley was packed with people. My Deadpools and I surrounded the girls in the crowd. We took them on some rides, like spinning teacups, carousel, water slides, and more. The girls had a blast and got all sweaty, By the time we got back to Hongbinlu, it was already past 5 p.m. After dinner, Janya suggested singing at KTV. The girls were all for it. I'm not into singing, so I said I'd pay. Told the girls to just have fun. Walking all afternoon tired me out, so I went to nap on the office sofa. Soon enough I fell asleep, until a sudden phone ring woke me up, jolted me awake. I checked the caller ID. It was my sister Chin Yu. I quickly sat up and answered. As soon as I picked up, I heard her crying, "Bro, we're in trouble. They won't let us leave." Hearing that, I stood up right away and rushed out, gathered 10 Deadpools in the shop, and hurried toward 9 Days KTV next door. I lost all my cool by then. Once at 9 Days KTV, I led my guys straight to the second floor rooms. KTV security and staff on the first floor saw a dozen tough-looking men charging in. Were too scared to stop us. They called their boss for help right away. When I got to the second floor, I spotted 7 or 8 guys and girls, cornering Chin Yu and the girls at the end of the hall. A crowd was gathering to watch. I quickly walked over, started clearing the hallway, telling everyone to move aside. Someone cursed, not knowing what's going on. He got elbowed right away. Just like that, he shut up. When I got close, I saw Chin Yu. The girls' hair was messy, and they clearly had slap marks on their faces. Obviously, they'd been hit. Chin Yu saw me and jumped right into my arms. Started crying out loud. Before I could ask what happened, a blonde woman started mouthing off. A bunch of sluts. What, you looking for trouble? You think you can call for backup? I frowned. One of my Deadpools walked up and slapped her, knocking her to the floor. Her buddies tried to help, but my crew beat them down in seconds. They were rolling on the ground, all laid out. I tried to comfort them, patted Chin Yu's back. Don't cry. Tell me what happened. Chin Yu sobbed as she explained. We were having fun at first. It was a little stuffy in the room. So, Sis Ye and Sis Yuanyuan went to get some ice cream downstairs. But those guys stopped them and insisted they drink with them. Told Sis Ye and Sis Yuanyuan to go back and bring us too. So they tried to take us out. But those people blocked the door, said we were looking down on them, then started hitting us out of nowhere. I was pissed already, but after hearing all that, I was even angrier. Then I told my Deadpools, bring those people into the room, and said to a KTV staff member, call your boss. Tell him Chin Yang wants to see him.
If he's not here in 10 minutes.
There's no need to keep this place open. After that, I took Chin Yu and the girls into a private room. Once inside, I yelled at them, telling them to line up. Kneel down, damn it. Had some horse piss to drink. You guys really think you're hot shit? The Deadpool-looking guys heard me. They started kicking and beating those dragged in. Made them all kneel down properly. That arrogant blonde woman. She quieted down now. In times like these, it's obvious who the real boss is. But just kneeling's not enough. Aren't you guys used to bullying people? Tonight, I'll let you all see what it's like to get bullied. Then I looked at those boxes of beer on the floor. Aren't you all into drinking? Let's see if you can drink your fill tonight. Go tell the server to bring 50 more cases. No one's leaving if you can't finish. Those troublemakers looked at each other, faces turning pale. When they wouldn't drink, I grabbed a bottle of beer and smashed it over a guy's head.
Bang!
The bottle shattered. The guy screamed in pain. I picked up another beer and downed it. Don't want a drink? Fine. I'll let your heads have a taste. No one dared to fight back. They all grabbed beers and started chugging. We all just sat on the couch watching them drink. For a while, the room was filled with the sound of chugging, until the door suddenly opened. Everyone turned to look at the door. The door opened. A middle-aged man walked in with some servers. He had a smile on his face. He greeted politely. Oh, it's Mr. Chin. Li Ren and Jobio are the owners of 9 Days. Sorry for what happened just now. I glanced at him and said, Boss Joe, I didn't start this for no reason. Look at what era we're in. My girls just came here to sing and got harassed by punks. Your staff just stood by and watched. Wow, today is really eye-opening for me. Jobio didn't argue back. He just kept apologizing. Seeing him like that, I didn't feel like pressing anymore. So I said, how do you plan to handle this? Show me some sincerity. Jobio tested the waters. Mr. Chin, I'm willing to pay 10K per person. to compensate these ladies for emotional distress.
Hearing this,
I asked Yu and the others, what do you think? The girls were all stunned. They always thought I was just a restaurant manager. Never imagined I had so much influence. 9 days KTV isn't some small place. Dozens of private rooms inside, right on University Town Food Street. This place is prime real estate. The whole investment is at least several million. And yet, this boss worth nearly 100 million is acting so humble in front of me, even calling me Mr. Chin. The girls had never seen anything like this. Zhang Ye and Liu Yuan were older. They didn't want things to get messier. So Zhang Ye said, Yang, that's enough. We really didn't get hurt that bad. I nodded, looked at Zhou Bio and said, you're lucky. My girls are okay tonight. Otherwise, did you think I, Qin Yang, am a pushover? Zhou Bio wiped his sweat and said, yes, yes. Mr. Chin, I'll make sure to manage better. This will never happen again. Now over in Zikang district. Which club owner hasn't heard of Qin Yang? After all, to run nightclubs, you need some underworld connections. Look at what happened to the Gao brothers and Wang Dingfei. Everyone remembers it clearly. Then I glared at those punks. They kept drinking, afraid to stop. If they stopped, they'd get another bottle smashed on their heads. They knew from my talk with Zhou Bio. They messed with the wrong guy. So I told those punks, you guys, remember my face. My name is Qin Yang. Qin as in Qin Shi Wen. Yang as in the sun. Come at me anytime you want revenge. But if I catch you again, I'll make your lives even worse. Then I turned to Zhou Bio, Boss Zhou. It's your show now. I'm leaving. I don't want any follow-up issues. Got it? Zhou Bio nodded right away. Got it. I promise this ends here. With that, I finally led my people out. After we left, Zhou Bio had those guys helped up. What are you gonna do? Revenge? Call the cops? None of them dared. Zhou Bio continued, that guy's name is Qin Yang. He's legit in the underworld. Of all people, you messed with him. And his sister, no less. Take my advice. Just let this go. Of course, if you want payback, I won't stop you. But from here, all you'll get is the footage of you harassing Qin Yi's sister. I don't have any other surveillance. You should be glad you didn't do anything worse. You probably don't know the Gao brothers, but you can ask around. They used to run Zikang. Now, vegetables for the rest of their lives. You don't want to end up like that. So just go home and forget this ever happened. That's all I have to say. It's your choice. A few people heard that. They glanced at each other. There's nothing else to choose. The evidence favors me if we report to the police. Who knows, maybe they'd end up punished instead. Retaliation. That guy's basically a big boss in Zicheng's underground scene. None of them can compete with his tricks. Just then, an older man spoke up. We won't retaliate. We won't call the police either. Boss, could you please send us to the hospital? Zhou Bio smiled and said, now that's the right attitude. Otherwise, your trouble would be just beginning. All right, I'll have someone take you to the hospital. But you guys need to chill out in public from now on. Don't act fearless just because you had a few drinks. There are tons of people out there you can't mess with. A little cash won't solve everything. Back at Hong Yinglu, Qin Yu whispered, bro, why did the boss call you Qin the... And he seemed pretty scared of you. Are you in the mob or something? I tapped Qin Yu's forehead lightly and laughed. Mob? No chance. Your brother just does honest business. Kids shouldn't snoop about grown-up stuff. With that, I turned and walked away. After I left, the girls got lively. They started guessing about my other identities, wondering why that KTV boss was so scared. But even after a while, they couldn't figure anything out. Zhang Ye mumbled, Yang Jie, you were so cool today. If only I had a boyfriend like that. I feel totally safe. All the girls eyed Zhang Ye. Her face turned bright red. Then the girls all chimed in, agreeing with her, especially Qin Yu's classmates. They also looked totally smitten. After that, the girls' conversation started drifting. Not something outsiders could know. A few days later, thanks to Ziyu, we found a machine shop. It's another mid-sized factory. They used to make car parts. I'm really happy about that, because their machines are a perfect match for what I need to produce. So even though it hurt financially, I spent 10 million to take over the place. Now that I have the factory, Wang Liguo finally has a place to shine. The day he arrived, he upgraded all the machinery. With Wang's upgrades, the precision and speed both jumped up several levels. Once the machines were ready, in just one afternoon, Wang Liguo made the final super carburetor, right there in the shop. I looked at the small device. As Wang explained, "Boss, this is the super carburetor I built from the blueprints. Using my upgraded machines, the accuracy is even higher than the original design. I estimate it can hit the goal described on paper. Only 2 liters per 100 kilometers. Maybe even better." And I added some back doors to the internal parts. If someone tries to take it apart, it'll revert to a normal carburetor, so the core tech won't leak. I nodded and said, "Nicely done. So what's the cost for one of these?" Wang thought for a second. "It just costs some materials. Each one is about 33 yuan. When we start mass production, cost drops below 25 yuan. That's pretty good. Most cars use EFI now. EFI is a bit better than regular carburetors, more fuel efficient, and easier to start. But the downside is clear. The power is weaker than carburetor engines. Plus, the more mileage you have, the more expensive maintenance becomes. Normal carburetors also have obvious pros and cons. Con, they're thirsty for gas. Pro, strong power, easy maintenance. Now our factory's carburetor, you could call it an upgraded EFI. It's more efficient than standard EFI and fixes the weak power problem. Plus, maintenance is just as simple and cheap as regular carburetors. Got a sample now. Next step, sell it. Get people to accept this new product. But that's what I'm worried about. Convincing car companies to use carburetors isn't easy. It's seen as a step backwards. And I don't know any car company bosses. I've been thinking these days. To sell this product, I need to contact Wei Liang. Wei works in real estate, but his connections beat mine by miles. He might know some auto industry bosses. Time to act. I called Wei Liang right away. "Mr. Wei, could I ask you a favor? Do you know any car company bosses? I'd like to meet them." Wei thought a bit and said, "Sorry, Chin bro. I honestly don't know anyone in that field. But you should try Joe Kang. He has a few friends at Great Wall Motors. Not many though. But he can probably set up a meeting." I thanked him. "Got it. Thanks, Mr. Wei." After hanging up with Wei, I called Joe Kang. Told him I want to meet the Great Wall Motors CEO. Joe hesitated. "Chin boss, I'll check when Mr. Wang is available and get back to you." "Okay, thanks." Not long after hanging up, Joe replied. Mr. Wang agreed to meet, thanks to Joe. He'll see me tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the office. He said just come over then. The next morning, I brought Wang Liguo and a few loyal guys to Great Wall Motors. The security guard pointed us to the office. I arrived at the CEO's door, told everyone else to wait. Went in with just Wang Liguo. The CEO's name at Great Wall Motors is Wang Jian. He's an older, classy-looking gentleman. He greeted us warmly and shook hands politely. Once we sat down, Wang Jian asked, "What brings you here, Mr. Chin? I think this is our first meeting, right?" I nodded. "Yes. Mr. Wang, I came today, hoping to work with Great Wall Motors. My mechanical engineer accidentally invented a super carburetor. The results are amazing. So I had to reach out?" Wang Jian was surprised, then politely turned down the carburetor idea. "Sorry, Mr. Chin. Cars don't use outdated products like that now.
Honestly,
I don't think we can work together. Our factory only uses imported EFI. Switching to carburetor would be a downgrade." I sensed Wang Jian was firm, so I quickly listed the super carburetor's strengths. "Mr. Wang, I know EFI is great, but our super carburetor isn't like regular old carburetors. It's more like an EFI upgrade. This super carburetor is actually an advancement in EFI technology. It's more efficient than EFI, more eco-friendly, and as easy to maintain as a carb. Best of all, it's as cheap as a classic carburetor." After listening, Wang Jian replied skeptically, "Mr. Chin, that's a bit of a stretch. I know the benefits of carburetors, but they were cut for being fuel hogs and failing emission standards. If you're telling the truth, show me the product to prove it." I felt the pitch was working. I smiled and said, "Mr. Wang, I brought the samples with me. I wouldn't be here without them. Actions speak louder than words. You can start the test right now." Wang Jian nodded at that. He called for an old Great Wall car. The car used a carburetor, not fuel injection. Wang wanted his own engineers to swap in the super carburetor, but I stopped him. I gave Wang Liguo a chance to show off. Following my lead, Liguo swapped it in minutes and tuned it perfectly. Seeing Liguo's performance, Wang Jian praised, "Mr. Qin, this technician of yours is good. He's really quick." I replied, "Mr. Wang, he's our master technician. He actually invented this by accident. He even shares your surname." Wang Jian nodded with a smile. The test began shortly after. First was fuel consumption. A staff member got in the car and started on the test track. Since the test would take a while, Wang invited me to wait in a gazebo. Time flew by. Soon his assistant Baizu ran over. "Mr. Wang, the results are in. It's 1.7 liters per 100 kilometers." Hearing her report, Wang Dan jumped to his feet. Having spent his life with cars, he knew his fleet's stats too well. That's why he was so shocked. He grabbed the report from her. It listed many data points, but that last line was stunning. Wang Jian closed his eyes, calculating silently. That old car they just tested, with a standard carburetor, used about 8 liters per 100 kilometers. Even the newer EFI version still took 4 liters, at 7 yuan per liter. EFI costs about 28 cents per km. That's for a small engine. For a larger one, it hits 40 or 50 cents. But with the super carburetor, it's only 11 cents per kilometer. This could even compete with EVs. Endless possibilities filled his mind. When Wang Jian opened his eyes,
He told Baizu, "Keep testing."
arrange the large engine cars. One data on every engine model we have. Then he looked at me with a massive smile on his face. "Mr. Chen, I'm so sorry. I thought you were joking earlier. I didn't expect such a huge surprise. The testing will take some more time. Please don't mind. Dinner is on me tonight. We absolutely must have a few drinks." Testing ended after 5 p.m. The results remained consistent. Even for the largest model, it was only 2.1 liters per 100 kilometers. In Wang Jian's words,
He'd never seen such amazing tech.
great products earn favor naturally. Wang ordered 10,000 units on the spot, at 300 yuan each. This was a fair market price. Great Wall Motors was my first win. Once other car makers come calling, it won't be too late to raise prices. Wang's order was to test the market. No matter how good a product is, without market validation, it's all just talk. A few days later, good news came from Ma Jun. The medical lab was established. Ma Jun worked day and night to finish the first gene repair serum for the genetic defect drug. I care about it way more than the super carburetor, because the effects of these two things are totally not comparable. One just saves some money, but the other is literally life-saving. Inside the pharmaceutical lab, I'm holding a tube of light blue liquid. I keep looking at it over and over. Of course, I can't really tell anything from it. I just genuinely like it. Because this little tube in front of me could mean huge profits for me. Even building a business empire with it wouldn't be a big deal. I stared at it for a long time. Then finally, a bit reluctantly, handed it back to Ma Jun. Ma Jun took the drug and explained that it needs clinical trials. We need to file with the medical bureau. There are 3 phases of trials total. A lot of clinical data is required before we can apply for registration. If it passes review, we'll get approval. Only then can we produce and sell it. I nodded. We'll use the name of the 3rd pharmaceutical factory for registration, but we'll need to rename the drug. Let's just call it Gao's drug. By the way, the core formula won't be disclosed. Ma Jun assured me. It won't be, boss. This genetic defect drug needs dozens of chemicals, mixed in precise ratios to make it, without the exact formula. Those chemicals have endless possible combinations. No way anyone could crack it by hand. Good, make sure everyone else knows. The formula must be kept safe, since the 3rd pharmaceutical factory is a long-established company. The medical bureau approved it quickly. Now we can do clinical trials. So I started looking for test subjects right away, back at Hongbing Tower. I'm sitting in the boss chair in my office and open up a short video app. I type in fighting disease streamer in the search bar. The algorithm quickly gets to work. On my phone, I see a ton of influencers fighting all kinds of rare diseases. I start clicking on them one by one. Most of them have cancer. Cancer is actually another kind of genetic disease caused by mutations. And as long as it's a genetic disease, this drug can effectively suppress or even cure it. But the cancer market is just huge. In this world, there are tons of pharma companies living off cancer alone. If I claim to cure it outright, I'd have crowds banging on my door the next day. So I really only have two choices. One, let others take most of the profit and keep some scraps for myself. Or two, try to fight them all. Even if I've got a system. Right now I'm still just getting started. Nowhere near powerful enough to fear nothing. When profit gets that big in this world, the darkness goes way beyond what people imagine. That's also why I went quiet seeing those cancer patients. I wanted to be a businessman and not act soft. But seeing all these people on my phone, miserable and wrecked by illness, I ended up softening anyway. I sighed. Well, forget it. Since you met me, guess you're lucky. Then I randomly picked one. A cancer vlogger with over 3 million followers. For the first trial, I planned to pick only 10 candidates. Choosing those with big followings is kind of my own selfish reason. Bigger fan base means bigger influence. If big name influencers use the drug, it'll get even more publicity. This vlogger's handle is Coffee. He's got rectal cancer and already had 8 rounds of chemo. He has a family history of it. And it's late stage. So I sent him a private message. Super simple message. Our company developed a new cancer drug that can really suppress cancer cells. We need to run clinical trials now and are looking for cancer patients to try it. Congrats, you were chosen by our company. If interested, reply to this DM. We'll cover your travel and stay. Give yourself a chance. Maybe it's for real. Then I moved on to the next person. This time, it's a vlogger with 1 million fans. But he's not sick.
His little sister is.
She has congenital ichthyosis. That's a typical genetic defect. Most patients don't even make it to adulthood. This vlogger's handle is Lazy. They're from a regular farm family. Family's been farming for generations. After the sister got sick, the parents used up all their savings, not even enough for the medical bills. Then, I sent them the same DM, feeling a bit down. I kept picking the rest of the candidates. In a dark, tiny rental room, a skinny young girl lies in bed, enduring the pain. Her body hurts so much. She's thought of taking her own life. But thinking about the recent DM on her phone, she decides to tough it out a while longer. Maybe that person could actually save her. Her name is Lee Anjian. She was abandoned by her parents at birth, grew up in an orphanage, started working at 15. But being so young, no one wanted to hire her. A couple who ran a restaurant finally hired her, gave her food and housing, but no pay. Not long after, the restaurant shut down for bad business. Lee Anjian had to look for work again. During those days, nobody knew how she survived. She slept in underpasses and on the street, used cheap pads, counted every penny for food, worried she'd go hungry tomorrow. Somehow she made it to adulthood. She thought once she grew up she could work and support herself. But as they say, misfortune hits those who are already struggling. Bad luck always finds the unlucky. One time, she had a severe stomachache, so she went to the hospital. The diagnosis, terminal cervical cancer. This young girl was truly lost now. Everyone knows paying for treatment can buy some time. That's common sense. But the problem is she had 0 money, and not even family. So all she could do was wait for death. And today, she gave up completely. She stopped treatment, spent $25 at a salon, got her makeup done by a stylist, then bought a little cake, hoping for one last birthday wish, and planned to just quietly pass away. In her tiny room, after eating the cake, Lee Anjian recorded her story from all these years, hiding her tired face with a hand effect, and made a video about it, then posted it online. Maybe fate cut her some slack, because her story quickly went viral. Some doubted it, some sympathized, some wanted to donate. Soon the video was trending. So, while I was searching for candidates, I saw this girl and sent her a medicine trial invite. Meanwhile, a family in an county Shan province. A thin man and woman are snuggled together. They're discussing whether the message online today is real. The man quickly made a decision. We'll head out tomorrow. It's just trying a medicine after all. We're both basically waiting to die anyway. If we really get to live longer, that's even better. If it doesn't work, we've lost nothing. The woman gently replied to her husband, I'll listen to you. 2 days later, at H City train station, I brought a few loyal drivers. Drove 3 cars to the pickup spot. These past couple days, my online message got responses one after another. For people at the end of their lives, my message is basically their last lifeline. Of course, no one would say no. To make things easier, I had them all come to H City today. On the other side, I've arranged places for the 10 medicine testers. After most of the day, I finally welcomed them. Total of 12 people.
10 adults.
2 kids. Everyone was really respectful when they saw me. I told everyone to relax. Then took everyone to the hotel first. After settling in, took everyone to Hongbin restaurant for dinner. During dinner, I reassured everyone not to worry. The medicine made by my company, even if it can't cure you completely, it will at least suppress your illness. But this treatment takes a while. About 10 rounds. So please be patient. The husband in the couple spoke first. President Chin, you're so kind. We're grateful just to be here. We really appreciate it. Honestly speaking, we were just waiting to die at home. Whether or not the illness can be stopped, we're thankful for the chance. Don't worry. We'll do everything you need us to. Everyone else agreed, watching their faces. All the gratitude was genuine. I felt my judgment hadn't run into anyone unreasonable. After a while, Coffee, who has rectal cancer, quietly asked President Chin for this treatment trip. My fans and I agreed. I'll live stream every day, so they know how I'm doing. Not sure if live streaming would bother you. If it does, I'll cancel it. Everyone heard this and looked at me again. It's not just Coffee. Almost everyone here is from the anti-cancer web group. It's daily online encouragement and support that got them this far. Daily live streams and updates to fans have pretty much become routine. This trip is also partly for live streaming, but they worry it'll affect me. So no one asked until now that Coffee brought it up. They all wanted to hear my opinion. I smiled. You're free to do whatever you want here. I won't restrict anything. Actually, I really like seeing you share your progress after injection and live stream your daily condition to fans. Our company developed this gene medicine to help all patients. But since our company isn't famous, we don't have much influence. That's why I invited you. Well-known anti-cancer influencers. Honestly, I'm looking forward to your live streams. I'm very confident in our medicine. I believe in our company's drug. If you get better every day under fans' eyes, it'll be a great advertisement. When they heard I agreed, everyone looked happy. If I let them live stream, that means I'm not a scammer. This medicine trial really could change their fate. Everyone started looking forward to tomorrow's trial. The next morning, I woke up and saw 13 more strong men, feeling a bit helpless. Having more people is good, but seeing new faces every dawn gets a bit annoying. About this, I asked the system. For once it answered. Only when the system is upgraded to level 4 can I choose where my death warriors appear. For now, I have to put up with it. Luckily, I'm used to it now. Today's update brought 13 death warriors. Means another week passed, and one more level 3 death warrior arrived. I checked the level 3 info. Level 3 death warrior Zhang Biao skill. Master of Chinese medicine. 50% higher success in diagnosis. Seeing he's skilled in Chinese medicine, my eyes lit up. Everyone knows Chinese medicine is tough to learn. Most skilled practitioners are old, but that's how it is. It takes years to perfect. And he's a master, judging by the system style. I bet Zhang Bo's skills are as good as Dongda, the best in China. Having such an old Chinese medicine doctor makes daily health issues much easier. And it's like the system gave me a warning device. If someone gets sick, Zhang Biao will notice early. Safer treatment, much better. Qin Yang made Zhang Biao his personal doctor. As for the other warriors, they're assigned by skill. Now I have 2 bases. It's way easier to assign the death warriors. 9 a.m. I'm waiting here with my coffee. Arrived at the lab of Third Pharma. I'm serious about clinical trials. I really care about them. I was going to invite some doctors from the city hospital, just to be safe. But with Zhang Biao here, I trust the system even more. So I didn't invite anyone else. Then, as I instructed, each gene defect medicine was split into 10 parts. to inject into the test subjects. It's not that I'm stingy about it. I do have full confidence in the system's products. But dosage itself is part of the experiment. We'll see how the dose works in the end. Then decide the amount for each drug. And it's also for safety. Injection went smoothly. Each patient was a bit nervous. But after the shot, no unusual reactions. Everyone was relieved. Next, it's time to observe the drug effects. A whole day went by in a flash. Since Li Anjian's injection yesterday, he's been pretty nervous. Lying in bed, so anxious. He couldn't even tell when he fell asleep. But when he woke up, he found something amazing. He slept super comfortably this time.
It's been ages since he felt that.
Just waking up naturally with no alarm. Before, because of his illness, his body was always in constant pain. As it got worse, without painkillers, he couldn't sleep at all. And even with painkillers, his body developed resistance. Once the painkillers wore off,
He'd wake up from intense pain.
now even without painkillers, the pain lightened. Clearly, his body is recovering. Li Anjian was overjoyed, jumped out of bed right away. He wanted to share this news with others. Walking out of his room, he arrived at Ma Chun's office, saw all the other test subjects were there. Everyone had excitement on their faces, like they couldn't believe it. Li Anjian asked, "Did you guys notice too?" Everyone nodded quickly. From the couple in the group, the husband said, "We're saved. Mr. Chen's medicine really works. My wife and I haven't slept this well in ages. This morning, we clearly felt our bodies were much lighter, almost like the cancer is fading." Just then, Ma Jun walked out of his office, holding a stack of reports. He smiled and said, "You're right. Last night after you all went to sleep, the lab checked your bodies. We observed that the illness in your bodies is being suppressed. Some milder cases also showed shrinkage. This means the drug is definitely tackling your disease." After Mei Zhen confirmed it, everyone was moved to tears. "Wow, I really felt it, and it turned out to be true. This is amazing. We're actually saved." God knows the stress each of them felt fighting death every day. It's a huge burden. Sudden death isn't scary. The scary part is waiting for death in despair. After everyone let their feelings out, Ma Jun said, "All right, since you all know, you have hope now. I want you to stay positive every day. Work with the experiment. And someday you'll leave here fully recovered. By the way, if you go live online, don't mention our company name yet. The drug isn't officially produced. Sharing outside will just cause worries. Of course, once we can talk about it, I'll let you know."
Hearing this,
Everyone quickly thanked Dr. Ma. "We'll be careful. Yeah, we promise not to say anything now." Ma Jun nodded, then told everyone to go back for their tests. It's one shot every 3 days. When not testing, everyone can do whatever they want. As for what Ma Jun said, nobody dares to disobey now. This drug is a lifeline right in front of them. Who'd be dumb enough to offend someone who holds their life? After everyone left, Ma Jun went back to his office. As he walked in,
he said to me sitting on the couch, "Can't believe it."
even a 1/10 diluted dose works this well. Overnight, it changed these people facing death so much. Such a huge difference. I said in awe, Ma Jun, "If they had a full dose, would they be cured right away?" Ma Jun replied honestly, "Boss, not that dramatic. Even a full dose, it still has to work through the body slowly. Most of them are late-stage patients. Can't be fixed instantly. But it'll definitely speed up recovery." I nodded, then said, "All right, just hint to them to keep using this dose. But for mass production later, decrease the dose. Sometimes being too effective isn't always great." Meanwhile, back in their rooms, everyone was obviously thrilled. Like when Kafai got back, he immediately grabbed his phone and started a live stream. Kafai is a blogger with 1 million fans, super popular in the anti-cancer community. As soon as he went live, followers poured into the stream. Within 5 minutes, he already had 4,000 or 5,000 watching. Kafai faced the camera, smiling and greeting his viewers. Viewers started commenting, "Didn't you go for treatment? Why are you live streaming so soon? Get some rest. Work with your doctors. Don't overdo it. Just update us when you can. Let us know how you're doing. That's right, Kafai baby. We really miss you. But your treatment comes first. Don't worry about us. Wait, doesn't Kafai look better today?" Guys, don't you think he looks way better than last stream? His complexion is much improved. Is there good news coming? Cafe looked at the chat, smiled, and replied, "You guys are so smart. My condition really is a lot better. But it's not because of a miracle doctor. I used a newly developed medicine. I gotta apologize, guys. When I posted recently about going to the hospital, I was lying. Actually, I'm in a medicine trial. It's a new anti-cancer drug. I only came to try it out. But after just one shot, I got a huge surprise. So I had to share it with you all." When Cafe said this, it shocked the viewers. Remember, Cafe's in late-stage cancer. With today's medical tech, there's no effective treatment, not even enough to suppress it. Now Coffee says there's a new drug out there. It can treat late-stage cancer patients. It's really hard to believe. A bunch of doubts popped up in the comments right away. People hinted that Coffee might be getting scammed. Maybe the drug just has super strong pain relief, or some kind of stimulant in it, like adrenaline could do that. Coffee didn't explain anything about it. Is it real or not? He knows his own body best, except for seeing doctors. The other big thing is finding meds. Cancer-fighting bloggers like Coffee. A lot of his followers are patients themselves, or have cancer in their families. Why do they follow Coffee? It's simple. First, for support. Seeing Coffee still staying strong and positive, even in late-stage cancer. It gives them courage to fight the illness. Second, for info, like which new drug works, or where you can get the best surgery. These are tough questions for regular people. But for a top blogger like Coffee, it's easier. Everyone saw Coffee got huge results from just one injection. The effects were super obvious. So people still battling cancer, how could they not be anxious? Coffee had promised Majun, so of course he wouldn't spill the beans yet. He told everyone, don't rush it, because the drug is brand new and still in clinical trials. Coffee got picked to be a trial patient, so he gets to take the drug first. But everyone, relax. The whole trial lasts 10 courses. Each course is 3 days, so it'll take about a month. So guys, hang tight. Coffee's like a pioneer right now. After every course, he'll go live and share his updates. If Coffee really beats or controls the cancer, he promises to tell you the drug's name. Once he gets to know the drug maker better, maybe he can even get early access or discounts for you. So just be patient, guys. Seeing Coffee explain things so clearly, the patients asking for medicine finally calmed down. After that, Coffee stopped talking about his illness and switched back to his regular livestream topics. Another week flew by, and a level 3 fighter popped up again. Level 3 fighter, Xiao Zi, skill planner, master planner, project success rate boosted by 50. Looking at Zhao Zi's info, I was a bit lost. From what I remember, planning is a position. Didn't expect it to be a skill? Curious. I called Zhao Zi over. After talking, I finally understood. Zhao Zi's planner skill, in ancient times, would be a strategist or advisor. Put simply, you can see Zhao Zi as a top professional manager. He's born to be a CEO. Once I got it, I smiled. The system really gets me. Zhao Zi started by getting a feel for my general situation. Then he asked, before sharing your thoughts, "Can I ask how ambitious you are?" I thought for a second and grinned. Now that I've got the system, of course I want to get as strong as possible. There's a joke online. My goal is to someday eat at the table, and no one dares bump into me. Boss, this goal looks simple, but it's actually the hardest one to get to this level. It depends on who you interact with. If their status is lower than yours, of course they won't dare challenge you. But keep in mind, there's always someone better out there, always another level above. But with us backing you up, this goal is still very much possible. Now, we will work for you with this goal in mind. Boss, now I'd like to offer you some advice. First, we need to set up a group and bring all your assets under it. Then, each business needs to be improved, like Hongbin Restaurant. Lately, Hongbin Restaurant's business has been strong. We have over a dozen level 2 warriors who cook now, all with solid culinary skills. Just one Hongbin Restaurant isn't enough for all these chefs to show their value. So opening branches is the logical step. We can also keep doing the lunchbox business. It can be a branch of Hongbin Restaurant. Second is construction. I checked the records. Our folks are all working all over other sites. We have about 20 senior workers. With so many skilled hands and level 1 warriors, it's time to set up our own construction company. Plus, you have connections with real estate developers. Getting work shouldn't be a problem, so starting a construction company is urgent. Third is the moving team. I looked into it and found the moving business isn't too stable. We can actually start a moving company with our level 1 warriors. It won't take long before we make a big name in that industry. As for the pharma and machinery plants, just bring them into the group. These two businesses will also be key pillars for the group. We should keep expanding the security company too, to really stand out in this field. We need impressive results. So boss, use your connections and find us a really tough, big case to take. That's how we'll make our name. Also boss, you're relying a bit too much on me. You can actually hire some outsiders in these businesses too. That way, keeping things flexible will help us hide better. After listening to Zhao Zi's ideas, I suddenly felt enlightened. I secretly praised the system for sending such talent. Feeling confident, I decided to let him handle everything. Appointed Zhao Zi as CEO of the soon-to-be Qing Group, letting him take full charge as he sees fit. Zhao Zi was clearly confident in himself. He promised he'd get things done quickly. He won't let me down. And even though I handed over things, I still remembered what Zhao Zi said. I wanted to find a big job for the security company, something to really build our rep. But a big job isn't easy to find, especially in a super safe country like East Grand. I asked a bunch of bosses I met at the last fight event, but had no luck. Just when I was out of ideas, Zhou Kang called me. I answered the call. We chatted a bit first. Then when it got serious, Zhou Kang started getting hesitant. So I said, Mr. Zhou, just say what's on your mind. No need to hold back. Didn't you say we're friends? Hearing that, Zhou Kang hesitated, but finally spilled everything. Here's what's going on. Zhou Kang's cousin was kidnapped by local criminals in Southeast Asia. The kidnappers are demanding ransom from her family. If they don't get the money in time, they'll hurt her. They even threatened her life. For a family like Zhou's, money isn't an issue. The problem is, even after paying, what if they still hurt her? Zhou's family can't accept that. They did call the police, but the cops there aren't like back home. And Zhou's family has no influence there, so they can't do much. So they have to handle the rescue on their own.
Today,
He remembered my security team and thought of me. Since I have a security company, he wanted to see if I had any ideas. As for Zhou Kang, of course I wanted to help him. We're not strangers. I know the Zhou family has money and a lot of influence. Zhou Kang's second uncle is at the same level as Mr. Hu, whom I invited before. So after a quick thought, I decided to help Zhou out. And I was confident. Among the level 2 warriors that refresh daily, some have real battlefield skills. These guys are my bodyguards now. Level 2 warrior Wang Chao, special forces skills, combat up by 30. Level 2 warrior Zhang Long, special forces skills, combat up by 30. With talent like this, I have 6 on my team. So I told Zhou Kang, Mr. Zhou, I get what you mean. I do have people with experience in this kind of thing. But you know, they earn money with their skills. Before I could finish, Zhou Kang got it.
he quickly said, Mr. Xing.
I know, money's not a problem at all. Here's the deal. As long as your team brings my cousin back safe, I'll pay 10 million. But if something does happen, I still want the kidnappers dead. The payment stays the same. Worst case, I'll still pay 5 million for this job. I replied, all right, Mr. Zhou, I'll handle this for you. Even if we can't get her back, we'll report back to you. But when my team heads over, we'll need some support from your side. First, a reliable translator. Second, a place to stay.
Third,
We need all info from before your cousin went missing. Hearing my promise, Zhou Kang quickly said thanks, Mr. Chen. Don't worry, I'll get everything set up. You can count on that. After hanging up, I called Wang Chao, Zhang Long, and the others to brief them on the situation. They all had no objections. Lives are at stake. I told Zhou Kang our team could leave tonight. He'd handle the visas and passports.
He said no problem.
Having connections helps. I just sent Zhou Kang basic info on the team for his reference. In less than 30 minutes,
he got the passports delivered to us.
plus tonight's plane tickets. That same night, Wang Chao and his team went straight to where Zhou's cousin, Zhou Fei, went missing. Bangkok, after 10 p.m. Wang Chao and the team landed in Bangkok. Zhou's people met them at the airport and got their lodging set. They also met the translator Zhou arranged, as well as a local guide. Then, the guide arranged by the Zhou family gave Wang Chao some information. The Zhou family bribed the local police. A staff member was the one who got it.
The info says,
Zhou Fei came to Bangkok for tourism. He went missing outside a big bar in Bangkok. The bar is called Go-Go. It's pretty famous around here. The file also has some guesses from the police. The kidnappers were pros. The bar's CCTV showed everything. Their teamwork was spot on. They had their target locked in, from getting out of the car to grabbing him. It all took less than 2 minutes. But there's only written info. No video footage. Otherwise, we'd get more clues. After looking over the file, Wang Chao asked the guide, "Do people go missing a lot in Bangkok?" The translator glanced at Wang Chao, then translated it for the guide. The guide hesitated a few seconds and replied, "Not really. But I've run into it a few times myself." Wang Chao asked again, "Did police announce the results in the end?" "Yeah, most kidnapped people were found dead." Wang Chao nodded quietly after hearing that. He started thinking fast, trying to find clues from the info. Just then, Zhang Long suddenly asked, "Who's the biggest gang around here?" Wang Chao looked up. His eyes brightened. Zhang Long had found a breakthrough. Cats have their own ways. Dogs have theirs. Guys who pull jobs in an unknown place. There's no way the local gangs don't know. If they said they don't, they're lying. Don't underestimate their intel skills. The guide answered quickly. The biggest local gang is called Wild Dog Gang. Turns out Go-Go Bar is Wild Dog Gang's turf too. Wild Dog Gang members run security there. With the answer, Wang Chao and Zhang Long exchanged glances. Both saw excitement in each other's eyes. Right after, Wang Chao told the guide, "Take us to the bar where it happened." The guide got paid, so he followed instructions. He led Ren Chao and the others to Go-Go Bar. Past 11 at night, they grabbed a booth and started watching the place. While drinking, they cinched up their info. "I just saw 4 guys with tattoos head up to the 3rd floor. 6 or 7 people in the dance area looked weird." "Yeah, I noticed that too." Out of those, 3 kept staring at the beauty in the center. After swapping info, Wang Chao started assigning tasks. "From what we gathered, those 3 shifty guys downstairs are super suspicious. But the Wild Dog Gang angle can't be dropped either. We'll split into 2 groups. I'll take one group. Zhang Long will lead the other. My group will check out the 3rd floor. Zhang Long's group will grab those 3 downstairs. Find out if they're spying or just loitering. Move in 5 minutes. Be careful. Bangkok doesn't mess with guns. Stay safe while moving. Pharmacists can shoot to kill. And collect weapons as much as you can." After 5 minutes, Wang Chao and Zhang Long took their teams to start the action. Wang Chao's group had 5 people total. The guide and translator came along too. At first, both were reluctant, but after being persuaded twice by Wang Chao, they agreed to cooperate. The dynasty had no choice but to do this. First, the language barrier. They couldn't communicate. Second, the translators and guides were locals. Who knows if they'd sell you out for profit? When you're away from home, you have to stay extra alert. That's the only way to avoid big losses from small mistakes. Just as the dynasty's group of 5 reached the 3rd floor, they were blocked by 2 big guys. The 2 men apologized, saying, "The 3rd floor is for staff only, not open to the public." Dynasty didn't want to waste time talking. He gave his partner a look. Then the 2 suddenly grabbed them, covered the blockers' mouths right away, and knocked them out with a quick chop each. Dynasty then checked them over, found no firearms, just 2 knives.
He tucked those into his own belt.
They dragged the 2 aside. The group kept moving inside. Soon, they reached the innermost part of the 3rd floor. The translator pointed at a sign on the door. "This is the general manager's office." Dynasty nodded. He knocked on the door. Someone inside cursed. A few seconds later, the door opened. Dynasty scanned the room first. The 4 tattooed guys from before were standing inside. Facing them was a big bald guy, smoking a cigar and watching. No talking. Dynasty kicked the doorman down straight away. The 2 fighters behind him rushed in at lightning speed, and stormed into the room. A scuffle broke out right away. It was over fast, all within half a minute. Soon the room went quiet. When the translator and guide walked in, they saw Dynasty already sitting at the head seat, playing with a Lollic pistol. On the floor, those guys were kneeling, the same ones from just now. Dynasty pointed at the translator and said, "Ask them, who's in charge?" The translator relayed his words quickly. Then, the bald guy on the floor rattled off something. Dynasty looked at the translator.
He said, "Boss."
"He's the head of security here." He asked who you are, and warned you. "This is Wild Dog Gang territory. If you hurt them, you won't get out of here either." Dynasty chuckled. "Tell him he doesn't need to know who I am. Here's a photo. Ask if they've seen this person before." He took out a photo of Joe Fei from his pocket. As the translator showed it to those on the floor, Dynasty and his team stared them down. The men each took a look at the photo. And soon Dynasty spotted something odd in one thug's expression. He went over to that guy and asked, "Have you seen this girl?" After the man denied it, Dynasty stomped on his hand. With a cold face, he said, "My patience is limited. If you don't talk, your hand will be a mess." The guy hesitated a few seconds, but didn't speak. But right after, he let out a scream. Dynasty was strong, and he wasn't even pressing hard yet, but the guy's hand was already cracking. In a few seconds, he couldn't take it anymore, and yelled, "Stop! Stop! I'll talk. I saw that girl a few days ago, but Body's gang was watching her. She hasn't been back since." "Who's Body?" "Body leads a small crew in this area. They're into shady business, but since they're on our turf, he pays us every month." When Dynasty heard this, his eyes lit up. He kept asking, "How do you know?" "This girl was targeted by Body's crew. She left a strong impression on me. The night she came to the bar, she acted super flashy, hired 6 or 7 models, and blew over 1 million baht on drinks. That night, I saw a few of Body's guys watching her. Their base is down a back street. I can take you there. Just don't hurt me." Before leaving, Dynasty dealt with the others, making sure they couldn't talk. They were still alive though. But for them, life wouldn't be worth living now. In the back alley, Jiang Long's group arrived too. Next to them squatted the 3 suspects. Their faces were bruised and swollen, obviously roughed up. When Dynasty arrived, Jiang Long said, "Captain, these guys seem clean. They're tourists too. I checked their passports. They're Koreans." "That guy was just curious about the girl." Dynasty nodded. But to be sure, he had the thug take a look at them too. When even the thug didn't recognize these 3, Dynasty knocked them out and left them in the alley, since it was close by. Dynasty's group just walked to Body's base. Didn't take long. Dynasty checked out the area. The spot was a 2-story building. All the windows were covered with curtains. You couldn't see inside. With limited gear, Dynasty thought for a second and decided on a direct assault. He signaled to Jiang Long and the others. Everyone got it right away and spread out quickly. Dynasty went straight to the front door.
He knocked hard.
In no time, the door opened. To stay safe, Dynasty wasn't just waiting across from the door. As soon as it opened, before they could react, Dynasty kicked out, landing it right on the guy's stomach. The man flew back like he was hit by a truck and disappeared from sight. Then came a dull thud as he crashed into something that made the noise. Dynasty didn't care about that and quickly stepped inside. He also readied the Lollic pistol he took before, just in case. Better safe than sorry.
Inside,
Dynasty saw lots of rooms, but all the doors had iron gates on the outside. He tried to open one at random, but found they were all locked. Someone inside heard the noise and made a sudden frightened sound. Dynasty's eyes lit up instantly, because it was a woman's voice. Just then, Jiang Long and the others came in too. Dynasty told them, "Break the door down. There's a woman inside. She could be the client. The rest of you stay alert." "Got it." Everyone gave an okay sign. Then Jiang Long called another enforcer. Each of them grabbed one door handle. Jiang Long gave a 3-2-1 countdown. They pulled together, hard. A sharp, screeching sound came from the iron door. The next second, the whole door was yanked off. Once the door was open, Jiang Long rushed inside. He saw an iron bed frame. On it was a woman, tied up. She was only wearing underwear. Her underwear was stained with blood. Seeing Jiang Long, the woman tried to hide. But she couldn't move, trapped. All she could do was open her eyes wide. She stared at Zhang Long in terror. Zhang Long looked her over. He didn't think much about it.
He walked up and yanked out the bra stuffed in her mouth.
The woman cried out, begging them. I really can't take any more abuse. I'm bleeding down there. If this keeps up, I'll die. Hearing her speak the familiar language, Zhang Long froze.
He asked, Are you from Dragon Nation?
The woman was stunned. Then she seemed to realize something. Her face lit up with joy. She asked hopefully, Are you sent by the government to rescue us? But the next second, Zhang Long's reply chilled her to the bone. We're here to save people. But sorry, not you. Please, I'm begging you. I was kidnapped. If you get me out, I'll definitely repay you. Realizing what was happening, the woman begged desperately. That's when Wang Chao walked in. Zhang Long, what are you doing? Is she the target? No? Then check the next room. We're short on time. Captain, she's not our target. But she's from Dragon Nation too. Zhang Long didn't finish his sentence. But Wang Chao understood. Wang Chao scratched his head. Let her out first. I'll check with the boss in a bit. See what we should do. Then, Zhang Long cut loose the ropes binding the woman. Stay right behind us for now. We need to ask the boss what to do. Then we'll decide how to handle it. After cutting the ropes, Zhang Long packed up and left. When Zhang Long returned to the first floor hallway, there were already several bodies in the hall. All guards startled by the commotion. This time, the enforcers went all out. They showed no mercy, so those guards died brutally. Of course, none of this fazed the enforcers. With Zhang Long joining in, they opened doors much faster. As each door was opened,
Inside.
most were like the first room's woman. A few rooms were soaked with blood. The floors had human remains. Clearly, people were killed here. Enforcers can't really deal with that. With fewer unopened rooms left, Wang Chao and the others got anxious. Zhang Long looked at the woman following him. Suddenly, he took out Zhou Fei's photo. Have you seen this girl? The woman didn't waste words. She glanced at the photo and said, Yes, we were kidnapped together. But this girl was tough. She refused to let them violate her. After a few beatings, she was taken away. Zhang Long's face darkened when he heard that. Looks like we need to prepare for the worst. But Zhang Long and the others didn't give up. They finished searching the first floor, then moved on to the second floor. The second floor was totally different from the first. Maybe the goons on the first floor didn't respond. Now Bati and his crew upstairs were on alert. Wang Chao just stepped onto the stairs. Suddenly, a few gunshots forced him back into the hallway. After Wang Chao backed into the hallway, he quickly shouted, Guns ahead. Everyone, stay sharp. Zhang Long, cover me. I'll take care of them. With that, he checked the clip on his Lorik pistol, then gave Zhang Long a meaningful look. Gang Long smoothly grabbed a trash can in the hallway. He tossed it down the second floor corridor. The moment the trash can hit the floor, a burst of gunfire erupted upstairs again. Right then, Wang Chao dashed out in a flash.
His Lorik pistol fired right after.
A few seconds later, Wang Chao dragged out a struggling man. As he shouted, All clear. You can come up now. Hearing that, Zhang Long and the others headed upstairs. Wang Chao shook the guy he'd grabbed. He turned to the translator, who was already terrified. This guy's the leader. Is he Batai? The translator trembled all over. He wiped sweat from his forehead. Stammering, he asked the wild dog gang thug they caught. The thug kept nodding. He said this was Bati. Just then, a henchman shouted, Captain! We found him. Wang Chao's heart skipped a beat. He tossed Bati on the ground and rushed over. The person was found in a small room. When they found him, Zhou Fei was still unconscious. Looking at his bare body, Wang Chao and the others instantly realized what happened. One of the guys quietly grabbed a blanket and wrapped Zhou Fei up, then carried him away. Wang Chao looked at Zhou Fei and said, Glad he's alive. At least this trip wasn't for nothing. Take care of Mahan and wrap things up. Remember to record a video. The rest, leave quickly. Zhang Long asked, What about those women who were freed? Wang Chao said, The boss ordered someone to send them to the local police station. What happens next isn't our business. Hearing that, Zhang Long shut up instantly. The boss's word is law to them. They would never argue. Back to Wang Chao, he led his team out first. Once the rescue was done, he called me right away. I heard things got messy this time. just to be safe. Before the locals even reacted, I reached out to Zhou Kang, asked him to arrange a boat to Myanmar for Wang Chao and the team. They're leaving Bangkok tonight. After hearing his cousin was safe, Zhou Kang was overjoyed. He immediately agreed to handle it. In the huge living room of the Zhou family mansion, the whole family had gathered. They're a powerful family in City H. To put it simply, the Zhous have connections in every field. They have their own people. But right now, every family representative on the couch looked worried. A Zhou girl was kidnapped abroad. That's a major incident. Everyone had to help out. As everyone stressed about what to do, Zhou Kang ran in shouting, "Good news! Good news! Fei Fei's been rescued. Fei Fei's safe." Zhou Kang's shout instantly lifted the group's spirits, especially Zhou Kang's fourth uncle, Zhou Dao. He jumped up and grabbed Zhou Kang's shoulders. "Zhekang, is Fei Fei really rescued?" Zhou Kang said, "Uncle, yes, it's true. I had some friends go. She's been saved, but it got noisy during the rescue. They have to leave Bangkok tonight. Uncles, aunts, please help contact a boat from Bangkok to Myanmar tonight. There isn't much time." Then, his third uncle added, "I'll handle the boat." He left right away. The others all looked at Zhou Kang. His second uncle is known for being upright. He always carries an air of authority. He rarely cracks a smile. But even he had a small smile now. "Xiao Kang, come here. Tell us how it happened. How did she suddenly get rescued?" It's not like most people can pull off a cross-border rescue. Zhou Kang sat down next to his uncle and dad.
He said, "Uncle, I was desperate and tried everything.
A friend of mine has a security company, so I asked for help. Didn't expect they'd actually do stuff like this, so I just gave it a shot. Surprisingly, in under 12 hours, they actually got it done. Even I'm still amazed." Hearing that, his second uncle asked, "What's your friend's name?" Zhou Kang replied, "Qin Yang. I met him when I made that bet with Wei Liang. He's a straight-up guy. My bodyguards right now are from his firm." His uncle nodded. "Next time, introduce me."
Anyway,
He saved Fei Fei. So our Zhou family isn't the type to forget those who help us. Just then, third uncle came back.
he said, a friend of mine is shipping some cargo tonight.
From Bangkok to Myanmar. "I'll send you the address and time. Get them on board fast." Zhou Kang replied, "Got it, uncle. I'll take care of it right now." With Zhou Kang's help, Wang Chao and the team got back smoothly. They took a boat to Myanmar first, then used another route back to China. During the trip, Zhou Fei woke up. But he still wasn't in good shape. The Zhou family would have to handle the rest. Even though Wang Chao and the team left, they caused a real stir in Bangkok. 8 people were seriously hurt overnight, and more than 10 killed. Numbers like that are enough to make international news. The next day, Zhou Kang picked up Zhou Fei at the airport. He was looking at me differently. He'd already heard from the guides and translators about how Wen Chao and his crew handled the rescue. Zhou Kang thought things got pretty wild. At worst, maybe some injuries. He didn't expect so much bloodshed. More important, Wang Chao's team didn't even get scratched. Guys like that honestly scared him. When he saw Zhou Kang, I smiled and said, "Mr. Zhou, we got it done. Your sister's back with us. Her condition isn't great, though. You'll need to look after her." Zhou Kang replied, "Thank you, President Qin. Don't worry, I know how this works. I'll wire the money to your account soon. That'll be the end of it. No one in China will ask more about this. Also, my second uncle wants to invite you over. He wants to thank you in person." Hearing that, my eyes lit up. I took such a big risk with the deadman, just to meet Zhou Kang's second uncle. So I quickly agreed. I've heard of Mr. Zhou for a long time. When Mr. Zhou has time, I'll definitely visit him. Not long after I last saw Zhou Kang, I got a $10 million transferred to my bank account. Made money and got to know Zhou Kang's uncle. So yeah, I was in a really good mood. Just when I was about to return to Red Bing House, planning to have Li Zhonglian cook some great dishes to treat Wang Chao and the others, a call suddenly shattered my good mood. It was my aunt calling. Actually, I do have relatives in H City. My aunt's youngest daughter settled here. When I first came to H City, my aunt's family hosted me. I've always been grateful to them. I'm really thankful for my aunt's family. Our family was single parent. My college years were pretty tight on money. Aunt used to visit me when she was free. She'd buy me a big meal or bring me food. After college, my major was kind of niche, so I couldn't find a good job. I ended up working delivery for a long time. Given that, I didn't want to keep going to my aunt's house out of pride. Her family's doing pretty well after all. Me visiting too much would look like I was freeloading. Until I got the system. Maybe I wanted to prove myself. Or maybe I just wanted to impress my relatives. But this call from my aunt just killed my dream. Because my uncle had an accident. On the other end of the call, my aunt and you spoke almost in tears, with arguing going on in the background. Yanzi, are you still in H City? Your uncle had an accident. Can you come over? I frowned and asked, Auntie, I'm still here. What happened? What happened to my uncle? Where are you now? Auntie sobbed and said, brokenly, Your uncle passed away. I'm at the funeral home. Yangzi. I didn't even get to see him one last time. They just cremated him right away. How does that make any sense? You know, none of our family are here. I couldn't think of anyone else to call. My aunt's crying made me feel awful. I just wanted to rush over right away. So I grabbed Wang Chao and the others who just arrived and drove straight to the funeral home. Inside the funeral home, my uncle's co-workers were facing a few punk-looking young guys. Behind those guys, there was a fat guy holding a bag. He was smoking and talking at the same time. I already told you all, this was just an accident. The crematory staff made a mistake. And didn't I agree to compensate? 500,000, and that's it. An old man with gray hair yelled angrily, Hey, Bao, you've got no conscience. He clearly died after you guys took him. You cremated him without the family's consent. Did it without permission. No secrets here, right? Who would believe you? Nobody move. Wait for Uncle Mauzi to get here. Bao just shrugged it off. Pointing to a man, he said, Li Dong, you old fossil. I told you, that guy cremated the wrong man. The cops will go after him, not me. It has nothing to do with me. Out of the goodness of my heart. Paying 500K is more than enough. Watch it, or I'll sue for slander. The old man turned red at his lies. But he was helpless. Bao was right, with someone else taking the fall. The cops couldn't touch him. Bao kept threatening. Enough! Stop crowding around. Wanna lose your jobs over Sabo? Keep in mind, good-paying jobs are hard to find. Just then, several cars pulled into the lot. Sabo's friends were already scared by Bao's threats. Seeing this situation, they all silently backed away. They thought Bao brought more thugs. People look out for themselves. Between a dead guy and Bao, fighting the manager wasn't worth it. Until I stepped out, only my aunt and I remained. Plus the old man who spoke up. I walked to my aunt stone-faced. Aunt Annie broke down seeing me. She fell into my arms, sobbing. Yang, your uncle is dead. I didn't even see him one last time. I patted her back. Auntie, try to stay calm. What happened exactly? Don't worry, I'm here now. Then I heard a scoff. PSH! Think you're tough with backup? Kids acting like a mob boss.
Hearing this,
I looked up. A fat guy was sneering at me, staring right at me. Before I could move, a voice beside me said, Son, are you Sabo's nephew? I looked over. It was the old man, standing with NU earlier. I nodded. Yes. Sir, I'm Sabo's nephew. What happened to my uncle? My aunt's a total mess. She can't talk right now. That beast killed your uncle.
his name is Baude.
Goes by Bao, the GM of our factory. This morning, he called your uncle away. Then he fell off the roof.
He died on impact.
He didn't call the cops. Didn't call a doctor. Didn't tell the family. Sent him straight here. Before we even arrived, your uncle was cremated. If there's no foul play, who would believe that? Hearing the old man's words, my expression darkened. I stared at Bao. I said slowly, "How did my uncle really die?" Bao laughed arrogantly. Kid, trying to scare me. Your uncle couldn't handle life, so he just offed himself. Suddenly I roared. Wang Chao, he moved like a ghost, appearing before Bao A. Before anyone saw it, Bao went flying, like a cannonball, hurtling backward. When Bao hit the ground, his mouth was bloody, wailing in pain. Obviously, Wang Chao held back his kick. I was mad, but I needed answers. I had to know the truth. Otherwise, with Wang Chao's power, one kick would have killed him. As I was about to move, sirens wailed outside. I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. In public like this, if I killed Bao, I'd be in trouble too. When the cops walked in, an older cop asked, "Who called? What's the situation here?" Before anyone spoke, Bao, propped up by his men, moaned, "Ah, officer, someone attacked me. It hurts so much. You gotta help me. It's these people. They're all in on it. They're a gang." The older cop frowned. "Ba, you again?"
Talk.
"What happened?" Ba clearly knew him. He asked, "Officer Liu, can't you see this? I was the one attacked." The old man cut in. "Officer, I called the police. A strange accident happened today. One of my co-workers was taken by Bawa. Then he fell and died. Then this Bawa guy, without telling the family, cremated him on his own. Something is fishy here. So I called the cops. This boy is the nephew. These guys are his friends. The wife and child are here too." Bawa argued, "Officer Liu, don't listen to his lies. Sabo jumped on his own. Nothing to do with me. The cremation was a mistake. The worker will admit it. I didn't do anything. I'm being framed. I even came to pay them." Officer Liu heard them both and decided to take them in. "Too many people here. Not a place for questioning. I didn't say anything. I try to keep my record clean. But I'm not a pushover. I will find the truth. If the law can't punish him, I'll take his life myself. Not even God can stop me." Since Wang Chao held back, his injuries weren't bad, so he went to the station too. At the station, I started my statement, but I soon noticed something. For Bawa and his gang, the cops barely asked them anything. But for us, the cops' attitude changed, like they were interrogating us. I knew exactly what was happening. Bawa has someone inside. That's why he's so bold. I said I needed a phone call. A young cop sneered at me. "A phone call? For what? Do you have any idea?" "You're looking at gang charges, plus assault charges. Just sit tight for now." But I wasn't scared. I grabbed my phone. "I'm calling. Stop me if you dare. Crooked cops and thugs." I still don't buy it. There's no place to reason. Hearing what I said, the young cop froze. Then he got really pissed. He tried to grab my phone. But Wang Chao and the others weren't pushovers. They quickly stood in front of me, blocking him back. At that moment, one of the cops finally sensed something was off. He pulled back the young cop.
He whispered, "This guy isn't scared at all."
I bet his background isn't simple. This is a fight between big shots now. Why would you jump in as cannon fodder? Listening to his coworker's advice, the young cop suddenly got nervous. His arrogant attitude vanished right away. Seeing this, I glanced over. The other guy picked up his phone to make a call. The first person I called was Xiao Zi, of course. Now Xiao Zi has my full authorization and manages all my businesses for me. For a top talent like that, handling this stuff is a breeze for Kina. Xiao Zi answered the call. I told him, "Xiao Zi, I'm at the North District Police Station right now. I've run into some trouble here. Go contact some local reporters right away and get some well-known lawyers over here." After explaining, I called Mr. Hu next. Mr. Hu is an old scammer. I met him through Wei Leiyong. He loved the food at Hongbing Lu and went there to eat a lot. Over time, I got pretty close to Mr. Hu. Now that it involves his background, I called him. I'm not asking him to take my side. I just want fair treatment. I'm sure he'll give me that much face. Sure enough, just as I expected. After I explained what happened, Mr. Hu was furious. Anyone can see my uncle's death is fishy. They're still throwing their weight around at a time like this. That's just total disregard for the law. They're really out of control. Mr. Wu said seriously on the phone. Chin, don't rush to call reporters yet. Since you trust me, please relax. I'll definitely get you an answer. I got what he meant and stepped back a bit. All right, Mr. Wu, I trust you. I won't let reporters expose this for now. This is the internet age. Information spreads super fast. If it really breaks that the cops colluded with criminals and a life was lost over it, the public outcry would be huge. Even someone at Mr. Hu's level would feel the effects. As for whether the info gets out, Mr. Hu knows that with my resources, it's easy for me to blow things up. Don't underestimate what rich people can do. These days, I'm finally among the wealthy myself. Mr. Hu moved fast. In just a few minutes, someone clearly outranking the cops from before came into the interrogation room. He walked in still trying to catch his breath. Looks like he'd been running. After he came in, the high-ranking officer asked, "Which one of you is Qin Yang?" I stood up and said, "That's me." "And you are?" "Hello, Mr. Qin. I'm Deng Jun. I manage this police station. Mr. Hu already told me what you want, so please don't worry. As officers who maintain order, we'll absolutely follow the law. We won't wrong a good person. And we won't let a bad one go." After I heard that, I gave Deng Jun a deep look. I said, "I hope you'll walk the talk. How do you plan to handle things right now?" "About your uncle's case. On behalf of the North District Police, I want to say we're very sorry. We're already investigating your uncle's death. We should have news for you soon." I said, "Since you've started the probe, I have nothing more to say, and I won't hinder your case. But from this moment on, I'm waiting right here. BoyAwakens is in your station right now. Finding the truth shouldn't be hard." Deng Jun said awkwardly, "Mr. Qin, this is against the rules." I stared directly at Deng Jun and replied, "Hey, was it legal for your men to treat us like criminals just a moment ago?" "I won't settle that now. I only want the truth. I want justice for my uncle." Deng Jun looked guilty and said, "Fine."
Take care of the victim's family.
As Deng Jun agreed, he gave his men instructions. Then Deng Jun left. After Deng Jun was gone, the young officer from before looked mortified beyond words. He had judged by appearances, seeing we were young and not wearing designer brands. He thought we were nobodies, who were easy to bully. Who knew I had real power? A few phone calls, and the chief came running. Biking station is high level. Anyone who can boss Deng Jun must be an H-City tycoon. Then the young officer thanked the colleague who stopped him. That man smiled at me and said, "Mr. Qin, how about this? This room is quite small, and it's a bit crowded for you all. We have a mediation room. It's much larger, with hot water and snacks. Shall we move there?" I gave him an appreciative look. He was clearly flattering me, but it wasn't annoying. I said, "You're good. What's your name?" Zhang Zhenlin saw my interest and became even more humble. "You're too kind, Mr. Qin. My name is Zhang Zhenlin. Just call me Zhang." "You're too modest, Officer Zhang. Let's go with your suggestion and head to the mediation room." Zhang led the way eagerly. "Great. Mr. Qin, this way please." But as I stepped out, I saw in the hallway Bawa being led to interrogation. At that moment, Bawa was screaming like a madman. "Deng Jun, you're dead. My uncle is the city's second in command. Your career as chief is over." Deng Jun walked over. From around the corner with a dark look, he forced a smile at me, nodding politely, then looked at Boa. "Don't think your uncle can help now. A life was taken. If you don't confess today, you're in deep trouble." Seeing Deng Jun meant business, Bawa went into a total rage, hurling insults at him. "You ungrateful dog. Who do you think promoted you?" Deng Cheng's face grew even darker. I knew Bao was finished. The case was settled. I looked away and followed Zhang into the room. After sitting down, Zhang warmly served water to everyone in our group, then tactfully excused himself. By now, my Aunt and Yu had calmed down. Her mind was clearer, though she was shocked by my change. She said, "Yang, thanks for today. I wouldn't have known what to do. Your husband went to work, saying he'd check the kids' homework. And you know, he was an optimistic person. He would never commit suicide." I agreed. "I understand. It's okay, Auntie." I kept comforting her there until 2 p.m. that afternoon. Deng Jun finally rushed in, drenched in sweat. "Mr. Qin, sorry to keep you waiting so long. After a thorough investigation, we finally have the result. No need for formalities. Just tell us the truth, Commissioner. We're prepared for anything." "Fine. Here are the details. The cause of death is clear. It was homicide. Saibo was Bao Dia's factory accountant. For some reason, Saibo was secretly collecting evidence of Bao Dia's tax evasion. A few days ago, Saibo's actions were discovered by another accountant, who reported it to Baoda. Because of this, Baoda felt Saibo was a threat. He called him upstairs this morning to demand the evidence. Saibo refused to admit it. Baoda ordered his men to beat him. They were too rough, and one hit him in the head. He died on the spot. To escape the law, Baoda had them throw him off the roof. They made it look like a suicide. Then he bribed a cremator to burn the body immediately, to destroy all evidence. That's what happened. Baudier's henchmen have confessed. They'll face the full weight of the law. After hearing this, I frowned deeply. I could accept the truth, but I was puzzled. Timid Saibo. Why would he suddenly collect evidence against Baudet? There was nothing in it for him. And you broke into tears again. She kept saying, I told him not to. But he insisted. Now look. He's gone, leaving us all alone. I asked her my question. Auntie, why did he target Bauda? And you explained, through her sobs, for his sister. I thought for the kid's sake, he had given up on that. My cousin is named Sizzy Yi. He's only 7. Then she tearfully told the story. The grudge started 20 years ago. Seibo's sister was beautiful, and Baudea noticed her. He pursued her, but she refused him. In a fit of rage, Bauda assaulted her. Unable to live with the shame, she killed herself the next day. Because Baudea was a minor, the law didn't touch him. Seibo was very close to his sister. This became a thorn in his heart. Even as he grew up, CBO got married. Having a kid was supposed to make things fade with time. But when Bauda suddenly showed up, Seibo's hatred couldn't be held back anymore. So, using his skills, CBO got into the factory Bauda owned. Bauda was never a good person. He always relied on his connections. Did a lot of shady stuff, especially tax evasion. CBO thought he could get revenge for his sister without anyone knowing. But fate had other plans. They say art imitates life. I never thought something like this could happen to my own family. It ended up destroying a happy family. Plus, Uncle CBO was too simple-minded. If I hadn't made a name for myself and had some connections, CBO probably would have never got Bauda, even if he died trying. That's how the real world is. Since Deng had solid evidence, I wanted to know Baudier's final outcome. So I asked him, Boss Chen, all we do at the police station is question suspects. As for the sentence, that's up to the court. But in my experience, Baoda will get at least 15 years. I frowned when I heard that. Why is that so light? In my opinion, Baoda already has 2 murders on him. He deserves the death penalty, Captain Deng explained. Baoda just wanted to use force to make CBO hand over proof. His man accidentally killed CBO. So that's not enough to sentence Baudet to death. And the fake crime scene by burning the wrong body, that's still a major charge. But even with all the charges together, it just adds more years to his time. I nodded at that and stayed quiet. But there was a cold flash in my eyes. Baoda and the others were detained, waiting for the law to judge them. Hanging around here wasn't doing any good. So I took my aunt and cousin back to Hongbin Mansion, even though the sentencing would take some time. But for the dead, respect comes first. My aunts and CGS relatives hadn't arrived yet, so funeral arrangements fell to me, which was kind of tricky for me. It was really my first time dealing with this. Luckily, money solved a lot. On the advice of that righteous uncle and a coworker, I hired a funeral service company, and that solved it. Over the next 2 days, Sijia and the family began to arrive. I won't go into details. It was heartbreaking to watch. That just made my mind up even more. I can't let Baoda off easy. After Uncle's funeral, it was finally over. As for compensation, that'll be sorted once Baudier's trial is done. That's not my business. That day I sat in Hongbei Mansion, on the boss's chair in the GM's office, listening to Zhao Zi's report. Boss, these days, I've already registered the group company. You picked its name. Chin Group. Also registered Chin Catering, Chin Construction, Chin Security, Chin Biotech, Chin Moving Company, Chin Machinery, and several other subsidiaries. With such a heavy workload, I went to a headhunter to hire talent for our other companies, so all the subsidiaries can be upgraded. My short-term goal right now is to focus mainly on the restaurant and moving company businesses. I am aiming for 1 month from now to open branches of Hongbinlu in the other 3 main districts of the city. We're already at the location scouting stage. As for the moving company, I'm planning to copy the Yunlala model, using an online order-taking system. But for now, we'll use only our own people on the job. When we grow, then we'll think about bringing in outsiders, about running the company. I'm totally clueless. Like I always say, leave the professional stuff to the professionals. After listening to Zhao Zi's report, I went back. You handle it. Anything else? Another thing is making the group more formal. We need our own office space. We're short on admin staff too. Our people just can't do these jobs. So I need to start mass hiring. And also about taxes. Even though the boss paid taxes before, I had a pro take a look. Turns out we can legally avoid quite a few taxes. So we need to hire a good finance team. Yawning, I went back. Okay, you go take care of it. Zhao Zi pulled the corner of his mouth, nodding to move on to the next topic. Finally, something I'm interested in. Boss, the company can save on taxes by buying cars. It's a legal way to reduce our taxes. But your car doesn't really fit your status. Are you looking for something in particular? When I heard that, I woke right up. I quickly asked, can I buy my own car? Sure, as long as it's under the group company's name. I replied, all right, if I have time today, I'll go handle it. After Zhao Zi left, I took Wang Chao with me and drove straight to H City's auto mall. When we got to the dealership, I ignored all the other brands. First, I had Wang Chao park outside the Mercedes 4S store. After getting out, Wang Chao and I went straight to the showroom. There were a lot of people inside, but most were just looking around. Even so, the Mercedes sales team was really friendly, answering customers' questions. No one gave us that snobby TV snob attitude at all. As Wang Chao and I got to the display area, right away, a good-looking saleswoman approached us. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the Mercedes 4S store. How can I help you today? When she found out we wanted to buy a car, she asked about our budget. I paused and said, no limit for now, as long as it feels right. Hearing that, her eyes lit up. She got even more enthusiastic. Great, gentlemen. Please come this way. She made a welcoming gesture, then led us to a spot near the center. If you like something more business style, I'd recommend our Mercedes E-Series. Price is between 450,000 and 500,000 RMB. Very reasonable. Plus, it's the newest model. It's upgraded from the old version. Basically, it's like a mini S-Class. I frowned a bit at that. If it was before, the Mercedes E would have seemed pretty high-end to me. But considering my current status, it's just not enough. So I directly shook my head and said, that's too cheap. Do you have a Maybach in stock? I'd like to take a look if you do. She froze for a sec, but quickly regained her composure. She hurriedly said, yes, we do. It's right there at the surrounded display. She quickly went over, talked to a couple of onlookers, and made space for me. Sir, you're in luck. This S680 just arrived yesterday. Otherwise, you'd have to wait and reserve one. Looking at the Maybach S680 in front of me, I nodded. This car is honestly one of my dream cars. It's a two-tone black and blue. Although I like black and gray better, black and blue works too. I've already looked into the specs and performance. I know all about it. So I said, nice car. Go check if I can drive it away today. And get me a good price. Seeing how direct I was, the saleswoman blushed instantly. Man, what luck she has. She was just following the company policy, taking random customers, and got a big spender who wants to buy on the spot. So she said right away, of course, Sir, please come rest in the lounge and have some tea. I'll go get my manager. We'll be sure to give you a great price today. Not long after, the saleslady came back, even sweating a bit. Sir, mission accomplished. The Maybach S680 on display is priced at 4.6 million RMB all in. Taxes and insurance are included. I spoke to my boss, and if you take it today, we can knock off 200,000 RMB. We'll cover taxes and insurance for you. Plus, you'll get that huge gift package worth over 100K. We'll throw in another one too. Is that price good for you? After she finished, she looked at me nervously. About the price of an S680. I know the general range from watching short videos. I know what to expect. Most buyers pay about this much. I could bargain lower, but I can't be bothered. So I nodded and agreed. When she saw me agree, She could barely hide her excitement. After a few seconds, she asked, "Sir, will you pay in full or finance? If you want a loan, we have special offers." I stood up and said, "No need, not interested. I'll pay in full. Let's swipe the card." Soon the sales rep took me to pay. I paid the full amount, and then drove off in the new Maybach S680. I took the new car myself. Yeah, I drove. With a ride this fancy, I've got to let the boss enjoy it first. Wang Chao followed behind, driving the Prado. We left the Mercedes store, and there was a gas station just ahead, so I pulled in to fill up, but unexpectedly, I actually ran into an old classmate here. While I was pumping gas, I heard someone shout, "Hey, is that Qin Yang?" I turned to look. A smile appeared on my face. Li Dafu was shocked and said, "Damn, you really made it, huh?" A Mercedes Maybach S680. This car is worth more than my life. I answered modestly. It's nothing special. Our classmates drive Bentleys and Rolls Royces. My car's not all that. But even though I said that, I still felt pretty good about it. Then Li Dafu walked around the car, sighing and asking Qin Yang, "Where are you making your money these days? If you get a chance, help a brother out. I'm just doing small stuff here and there." "But Dafu, didn't you get a good job after graduation? Why are you thinking about switching jobs?" Li Dafu replied, "Don't even mention it. The overall situation right now isn't great. Our company is about to go under, so I'm driving for a ride-hailing app around here, just trying to make some extra cash for the family." "All right, Qin Yang, how are things with you and Deng Yu? When are you two getting married?" I replied, my eyes a little dim. "We broke up." "How did you guys break up?" "Back then, everyone thought you two would end up together. Deng Yu was really amazing to you. You have no idea how jealous the guys in our class were." Thinking about this made me feel even worse. When it comes to Deng Yu, I really feel guilty. If I had to sum it up, it's that at my weakest time, I met the best person. It was me who brought up the breakup. It's not that Deng Yu wouldn't stick with me through tough times, but the way I was back then, I honestly couldn't see any hope. What I meant was I didn't want to be a burden to Deng Yu. That's how most guys feel about the women they love. We just don't want the women we care about to suffer with us. Those stories online, where couples make it big together, are actually rare. But after Li Dafu brought it up today, I started feeling restless. Deng Yu really is a great woman. If I just let her go like this in this life, I'm sure I'll regret it. So I patted Li Dafu on the shoulder and said, "Dafu, thanks, man. Why are you thanking me?" "Oh yeah, there's something else. Qin Yang, did you check our class group? That show-off Sha Fenggrui is organizing something. Are you going?" I replied, "A class reunion. I haven't checked the group. I honestly didn't know. But if I have time, I'll probably go." Even though class reunions aren't the same anymore, there are still a few close friends from back then. After graduation, I'd barely see my old buddies. This reunion is a good reason for everyone to get together. After we chatted for a bit, my gas tank was full. I gave Li Dafu my number, told him if he really wanted to switch jobs, I could help him find something. Back in college, we just nodded hello to each other, so helping him get a job already felt like I was doing enough. That's just how it is in real life. I pulled the car out of the gas station, then parked by the side of the road, took out my phone and opened my contacts, found that blocked number, and unblocked it. I took a deep breath and dialed the number. The ring barely lasted a moment before she picked up. A clear female voice answered on the other end, but she sounded like she was trembling. "Hello? Qin Yang, is that you?"